So good evening, everybody. How are we all? So I am currently on my own. I was going to have Natasha with me. I don't know if she's busy or she's ill or whatever. I don't know. So she may pop along later on. She may not. So let me start off with the chat catch up because I know I forget. So Marcus says hi, Penny, and all in chat. Smith Speed says hi all, and Dominique says good evening. So today I'm going to be building some Ecto-1. I'll give you a little bit of a catch up on the situation. This build started a long time ago, and it stopped because Eagle Moss went into administration. I thought it was dead and buried. To be honest with you, I was going to throw it out because I thought I wasn't going to continue with it anymore. But I just never got round to it. You know, I was trying to sort things out, and there's always something more important to sort out. And I'm really lucky I didn't throw it out because then Fanhome came along to the rescue and they've picked up the build. So I believe I was one pack behind the main people who signed up on day one, because a lot of people, let me switch my camera. I'll show you essentially where I was up to. Basically, it's the chassis, the bodywork is complete apart from this side. It's really heavy, guys, so I want to avoid rolling it over. But you see this side is complete. Which actually wasn't a problem in the sense that there were some aftermarket companies that were 3D printing all the top bit. But it's not a problem because the builds have continued. However, I've not had time to do it. So I've got about 3 packs sitting here. So I just thought I'll pick up a little bit. Now, what I have been doing, I stopped at the last issue of pack 29, which I believe was stage 110. I've done most of this off camera. I kind of lost interest in YouTube about a year or so ago. All pack 119 was this, which is obviously going to go like that. I think like that. I don't know. Maybe not like that. It'll go somehow. It'll all become clear once we. I'm pretty sure it's that way. I'm absolutely positive it's that way. Maybe I've just got. I don't know. Yeah, it's that way because there's going to be a bit going on there. Anyway, so I've continued with a few more packs. So we've got the rear light there. We've got this, but we suddenly got to the point where it said you are going to need the wire. From a previous stage. Ages ago we plugged the wires into the chassis, and now what we're doing is we're taking the wires out and we're putting them where they're supposed to go, and then I guess at a later stage we'll reconnect the wires. So my Ecto's not buried. It is filthy. I do apologize. So P40F20, yes, that way. It's one of those things where until you add the rest to it, you can't necessarily figure out where it goes. And as you know, there's so many empty screw holes for various little things. Yeah, I think it's that way. But as I say, once everything's attached, it will all make sense. So I have very limited workspace, as you can tell, because this thing is so huge. So for a couple of issues, we're going to need the chassis. Then I'm going to have to take a little break because I think we're going to need we're going to need the body. And then I'm going to have to take a little break because we're going to need the chassis. So I'm going to have to get this off the table. Now, I did notice, I don't know if I've got the bit that's come off, but there's a bit snapped off there. So I'm a little bit annoyed about that. But, you know, given how old this is and this has moved house 3 times, I think it's really good. The only other issue I've got, and I can roll this now because that delicate bit has snapped off. The edging's come off, and I think I did try to super glue it and it didn't want to happen. I'm sorry guys, I can't get this in shot. So we got some edge. No, still can't do it. There we are. So we've got the edging here and it hasn't stuck down. I can get clamps in there. Now if I can find something that'll stick that down permanently, then I can clamp that down, but that's not going anywhere. And there's also a little bit on the door frame, but again, I think it's a little bit's come off and then maybe it's got caught. You know, this has been in the hallway for a bit, and maybe as someone's walked past, they've just caught the edge of it. But yeah, that's just come off, so that might have to go on. So shall we do some building? God, chat's just gone mad. Wow. So where are we? So high up. God, I've got wires in the way. I can't operate my mouse. So high all, yes, that way. Penny's pit stop, high. Teresa, P40 F20, little history. Do you know, it's really good to see P40. I absolutely love the comments you leave on my YouTube videos. Absolute chuckle every time. P40 says, hi Dominic Koku. Hi Dominic, how are you? Anfield Road layout in the loft, now known as Anfield. Hi Penny, big thumbs up to the build. Joe Dom, Teresa LH, P40 20 Smiths Lee. Is that an applause? I don't know what. I don't know me emojis, I'm afraid. I'm okay. How are you? Hi Marcus. And I think that's it. Stream wise, I've got my streaming sorted out. I'm going to be trying to stream once a week live. When I'm on holiday, it might be a little bit more as a little bonus. And I'll just, you know, I might not stream. Depends what I've got to do. Right. So this is where I'm up to. Issue 100, stage 113, finishing the left rear fender crown. Now, some of these bits I've done. This is kind of halfway through a stage, which is what I really hate doing. I do hate being partway through a stage. So that's this. So we've screwed in this silver piece, and then we've put on the, what do they call it? The light housing. This is where we now need the wiring, which I've now put down. You know me, once I put something down. So we are looking for a wire marked Q. Guys, I've lost the wire. Here we are. Now, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Right. So I would say this is just the same as the last side, but the last side was done so long ago that I can't even remember these bits. I was sort of dry fitting it. Now this I do now remember. This is quite awkward, and why they've got us to screw that on Why did they get us to screw that on? Would it not be simpler? We've got to get the light into there, the light bulb in there. Why could we not have... This isn't the best screwdriver for this. Right. I might discover the answer to my question in a minute. Right. Why could they not have us put that light in now? You've got to kind of bend that wire a little bit. And I don't like bending wires because things tend to snap easily. But we've also got to push that light in. There we go, look. So now I've got that in. Why can I not screw that in now? Would that have not been a lot easier, guys? Try to fiddle around in that part. Give yourself as much room as you can to fix things. Oh, do you know what? V smelling. Oh, that's what you did, P40. There you go. Great minds think alike. Did you get my Facebook message today, P40? I sent you a very special picture, which no one else is going to see until November. There you go. That's in there. That was easy, wasn't it, when you take that part off? Right. So the next bit is, how far along are you then, P40? Are you many issues in front of me? It's not like you to be in front of me, is it? Right, so this bit has to go on the other side, I think. Yes. So this goes on to there, and there's some locating tabs there. This was a bit of a bugger, this little strip, because it's not actually screwed in, it's just clipped in. So be careful with that if you haven't done this stage. So that's how, I mean, this doesn't need to be screwed in, because once all this is in place, have I done that right? Isn't it not meant to be? Should I not be putting, I've done this the wrong way around, haven't I, guys? That bulb should have gone into that one. Oh. Yes, and then, yeah, doesn't matter. You know, that's tempting to say that, isn't it? Doesn't matter. It might well do. So, apologies, guys. So, that's going to be hard to get that out now, isn't it? She says as it just comes out. That's just literally fallen out. Right. This one. Yeah. So I'm going to undo these screws. And I've just got to be careful where I put the screws, because I've got screws all over the desk now. I don't want to put the wrong ones in the wrong holes. Right. And then take, that goes with that. By the time do you know what? I might as well just not have built this stage, mightn't I? Build the stage, then remove everything. Right, so that one goes into there, and then get that in as much as I can. And then what I'd done last time was I got a flathead screwdriver, a small one, a bit more of a precision one, and just try my best to push that in. I'm not going to over force it. If it doesn't want to go in, then I'll just give up, as long as it's not falling out. Oh, there we go. That's gone in fine. Right, so that can go back in. So I've just noticed Chris comes in the chat. How are you, Chris Davis? So what's the situation with your Ecto? I think that's screwed in that side, isn't it? I can't remember. Oh, this is the best, one of the best screwdrivers I've got, but it's not magnetized. And I know the simple answer is magnetize it, but for some reason I just never have. I tell you what, when I've done these few screws, I will magnetize it. I just felt a cat by my leg. I did. It's little Spirit. Spirit has been very naughty today. Not bad, just naughty. You might see a tail come into shot in a minute. She's just jumped up on my lap. Now, for example, the bathroom. To them, I don't let them in the bathroom, but they come in when I use the bathroom. And when I've been drinking coffee all day long, as you can imagine, that's a lot. Now, Shadow has learned that. Let me get this magnetizer out. Magnetize. Because I'm always moaning that this doesn't magnetize. Doesn't pick the screws up. There you go. That's just, how long did that just take? That's all I needed to do. Yeah, so Shadow has learned a long time ago that if he doesn't come out of the bathroom quickly enough, I shut the door and I just shut him in. And then 5-10 minutes later, I go back in and he gets a chance to come out again, and usually he takes it. There has actually been times when he's run in the bathroom and I didn't even know, and I shut the door after me and having a nice peaceful afternoon, when all of a sudden I get meowing, and it's him in the bathroom. So he's very much doesn't like being alone. He enjoys the bathroom when I let him in, but he's out as quick as he can. Now, Spirit, I've tried to teach her, if you don't come out of the bathroom, I'm shutting the door. And she just goes, well, hey, unauthorized playtime. So, yeah, right. So this has now got to go into this one. So remember, we're going to bend this wire. I usually find if you bend them slowly, they generally don't give you any trouble. Do you know what? I was looking at a soldering iron today. I've built my own soldering iron, and it's blown. I don't know exactly what the problem is. I thought maybe it's a fuse, because I've built in a two double socket into it as well, and that didn't work either. And I changed the fuse, and now the sockets work. But I did hear a kind of a, should we call it a click, when I plugged the plug in, sort of a spark. Sometimes when you plug a socket into a wall, you get that kind of a spark noise. Nothing to worry about. It's just where the metal pins are making contact with electric. I say nothing to worry about. But the actual variable power supply is not working. So I don't know exactly what the problem is. But I suspect I've either burnt the wiring, or the wiring's dead, or something's blown. And for the amount of effort I put into that, I can't line this up, guys. Oh, because I've got this lined up wrong. You've got a little notch in there, and you just got to get those wires through there, and then it should fit. There we go. That was better, wasn't it? So that is the bit that's going to go onto the white bit that I showed you, and that's looking pretty snazzy now, isn't it? So we need to attach that with a variety of screws. 3 different screws. You've got 4 screws, but you're using 3 different screws. So we'll do the end one first, which is a WP, and that's a nice red painted screw. Use my newly magnetized screwdriver, and I think once this one's in, that's half of my keeping them together issue sorted out. I've got a feeling when I did this one before, I had issues with that, but that's just gone in perfectly. So now I'll do the other side. this one there, which is an LP screw. I don't know whether to do my usual trick of just pop it in enough to bite, or just to go for it fully. I don't think. Oh, sorry, that was. I thought a screw fell out, but wasn't it? Screw just fell off my screwdriver. Right. So a new thing that I've been going on about a lot is a thing that I've referred to as safety screws. That's not lined up. And I think this is coming to that category. So sometimes what they do is, you see, this is held on. This little bit of plastic is held on to that bit of plastic with 4 screws. And as you can see, it only needs those 2. And they do this an awful lot. And it's great, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. And I refer to these next 2 screws now as safety screws, because if it's going to be held on well with 2 screws, it's definitely going to be held on well with 4, isn't it? But it will also stop any warping in the middle. Right, so we want 1 screw into there. Oh, that's actually, that one's going to keep the light housing in place. So that's going nowhere. The only worry I've got here is, have I got the wire coming out in the right place? But it looks the same as the instructions. So the last screw is going in to there. And I've got a feeling the next stage I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be able to show you guys unless I switch to my other camera. That is nice. The only issue I have with this build, they have no way of testing anything. Right. I'm just trying to find where I am. So I think I'm here. Hi, Peter. Hi, Lord Peter Webster. Peter, how's you? Hi, Chris. I think I wasn't. I think I was before there. Yeah, I was before there. Right. Sorry. Right, that's what I was up to. That's what I did. Hello, Penny. I hope you're well. Good luck with tonight's build, and hi to all in chat. Alex Demetrius, I've not seen you in way too long. If you take a point of time that is way too long and quadruple it and then multiply that by infinity, that's how long it's been. Miss you, you know, you're my good friend. Chris Davis, hi all. P40F20. No, I haven't checked Facebook yet. I'm waiting for issue 31. Well, hey, I'm ahead of P40. I think I'm ahead of P40. Yeah, this is issue 30 I'm doing. I know I've got issue 31. I don't know if I'll build that far tonight. Obviously, I'll just take it as it comes, and then obviously, if I'm tired, I'll finish earlier, and if I'm not tired, I'll finish later. Guys, I'm going to do a disclaimer. This is a disclaimer only for my lives. I am a smoker. I will try to keep the actual cigarette off the stream, but if you see the odd bit of smoke, you know, if I'm streaming for a few hours, I ain't going that long without a ciggy. So I do apologise. If that offends you, then I'm sorry. It's not really something I can do anything about, because I ain't going without. Right, so stage 3, fitting the gas cap. I've already done that because I didn't need the wire for that. So that then brings us nicely to step 4. I'm trying to come up with terminology because I don't like using the word issue. This is issue 30. To me, issue means there's a problem. There's an issue with my Ecto. But sometimes with, see, I think they call these stages, don't they? Stage 113. And I think when you're doing packs rather than individual issues, stage is probably the right word to use. But when you're doing, like, for example, the Eddie Stobart issue, I don't know what a better word for that is, but yeah, when I say, oh, I've got an issue, am I meaning I've got an issue with the Eddie Stobart, or do I mean I've got a problem with the build? But I think usually people listen to context, don't they? So we are taking this piece and we are adding the gas cap. So obviously that is being filled up from behind. Usually, I know this is a completely different vehicle. I notice with American cars, sometimes they fill them up from the back of the car or from the front, whereas British cars seem to be filled from the rear on the side. I don't know if that's a thing, if that's just coincidence. Have I missed out a load of chat? Teresa says, hi, Alex. Teresa says, hi, Chris. Dominique, Ghostbusters, that's really old, but I like the story from the movie. Well, if you think that's old, wait till the new year when the ET comes out. I am so stoked for that one. So basically, the situation I'm in for the last year or so, I've been saying, yeah, I'm gonna back off on my part works. You know, I think I can do other things. And then suddenly I've got 2 new part works and a third one on the way. So that's how successful I am at saying I'm going to be doing less part works. But how can someone my age say no to ET? Chris Davis Hobby says, hi, Teresa. You know I'm going to accidentally say Chris Davis World at some point, don't you? Lord Peter Webster says, hi, Penny. Right, so I'm going to tell you off in public. Lord Peter Webster has been naughty again. Yesterday he messaged me saying, I'm posting a parcel today, and today he sent me a tracking number. I keep saying not to send me stuff. It's not that I don't appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, but the position I'm in right now, I would rather, if anyone's going to be buying gifts for anyone, I'd rather they sent them to someone who was more needy. Not more needy, is that the right word? Someone who can't help themselves as well as I can. So having said that, my wages aren't covering my bills tomorrow. I've actually had to borrow from my bills money so that my bank account has enough money to pay my bills money. Chris Davis says, I'm good. Still waiting on Fan Home. Penny, how you getting on with that logo? I haven't touched it. I'll be honest with you, Chris. I've not touched it. You had me up at like 3 a.m. I was desperate to go to bed. I went to bed. I got up the next morning. I went to work, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you know what? I've got 2 days off and I've got 3 videos to make, 2 mosquitoes and 1 locomotive. And I was panicking, and I managed to get some, because the trouble with the stage that I'm at, well, I'm just going to show you the bottom. So I've had to paint the top, then I've had to wait because you can't put masking tape on paint until it's fully cured. So then I've put the masking tape on in order to do the black, and then lots of mucking around with it. And I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, and then all of a sudden I'm like, fantastic, I've done this issue, I've done this stage. So tomorrow, once that, because I've had to put varnish on, you have to put varnish on anyway, but when I was painting it, I was getting little minor scratches. So I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to put a matte varnish over the top. And I'm really glad I did that, because you don't need to let it fully cure to put more paint on, but you need to put more paint. You need to let it cure to put masking tape on, because otherwise you just rip it off. The masking process, I know P40 is going to comment on it. I've used so much masking tape, and I've probably done it askew. In fact, actually, the way I masked it, I changed my mind twice, but I didn't remove that from the video because, as I've always say to people, my videos are my build diaries. So, you know, my thought processes are in there as well. So yeah, it's not a great video in that sense, but anyway, I need 2 DM screws, and there's quite a few screws in this stage. So I don't know if they're all going to be used in this stage. I also found, I've been keeping all my spare screws, and I found them up. They're in the drawer. Because if you put something, I have these little drawers for the various builds, and of course I've not opened the drawer for over a year, and so of course you forget about them, don't you? I mean, they don't go away, but because you've not, oh, that's a terrible screwdriver for that. It's the first time I've ever said that about this particular screwdriver. I can get the screws in, so I'm gonna have to switch. I'm going to switch to my new fancy smancy screwdriver. I absolutely love this screwdriver. Wasn't cheap for a screwdriver, but it's actually pretty good. It's a proper branded one. It's made by DuPont, and I always thought DuPont made tights. I didn't know they made screwdrivers. I guess they're some kind of science tech company, are they, rather than a clothing company? These screws don't feel like they're going in, but I think they are. Yeah, that needs a bit more work done to it. I also found my wow stick up. Absolutely no good for putting metal screws in. There just isn't enough torque on it. But they are absolutely fantastic for plastic screws because of the lack of torque. Because you cannot over tighten the screws and break plastic with them. You know, when you screw so hard, like especially if you're screwing into acrylic. That's perfect. That's quite nice, isn't it? Right, so hi Peter. Checked Facebook. Nice. Hi P40. Hi Marcus, Mike, Dom, Teresa, P40. Hi Peter. Hi. Do you know, I feel like all the old gang are here today. Chris Davis, Peter, how's you? Hi Chris, hi Loppy. I'm good, cheers. Cool, I think this chat is accumulating quicker than I can get through it. Hi Lord Peter Webster, hi Chris Davis. Hi Mike, that's good Peter. I'm doing a live at 7:30 tomorrow. Hi Chris Davis. How's you P40? Changed my YouTube name this week. How's you Dominic? Yeah, we know who you are, Chris. I'll look out for it, Chris. Awesome, Peter. I'm doing a custom DP and got extra little project. Oh, that sounds exciting. We all like a little bit of extra, don't we? So Dominic says, I am okay. How are you? Chris Davis. I'm good, Dominic. I think this is how the chat goes. I seen your coming. Oh, DP coming along. Yeah. It's amazing, Peter. Watch tomorrow's. There's a little extra project too. Yeah. I've got loads to catch up on. Got Lotus F1. Oh, I'm a bit jealous. Rossi, I'm a bit jealous. Although saying that, what's putting me off the Rossi is I used to be a big Rossi fan. Still am. But obviously the new boy Marquez has come along. And now I believe Marquez has retired, which is not really surprising because he pushed his bike to the limit so much, got the results from it. But obviously by pushing your bike to the limit, you're going to come off more. And the more times you come off, the more you're going to damage your body. So it's really not surprised that he's retired a little bit earlier. But yeah, I mean, my favorite, is a case of the king is dead, long live the king, and then that king is dead, long live the new king. So, but yeah, and I'm not a big Suzuki. I think Suzuki, isn't it? Anyway, P40, you might be able to test those with a tester from another build. Yeah, might be able to. So a nice piece. I want to do. You know what? Right. So I've been thinking about the DB5, and then all of a sudden I found a YouTube video. I think it's made by Revel. There's a DB5 made by Revel 1:24 scale. And I thought, do you know what? That might satisfy my need for DB5. It's not the best kit I've ever seen, and it's pretty much a snap fit kit. It's got a few little disappointing bits on it, like the screen inside the car. He has this little panel, and he can lift the panel up. It's got like this radar. There is no panel to cover that. But the tire shredders and the machine guns on the rear indicators, they're all interchangeable, so you can have it with the naughty extras or without the naughty extras. So, you know, I was thinking about that one instead of the DB5 part work. Lord Peter says, I'm going to struggle building the regular wheels, but give it a go. Lord Peter, right. If they're anything like, I'm going to show you these. We were looking at these the other day. I'm not doing the Jaguar build anymore. These took me a long time to figure out. But once I figured them out, look how awesome those spokes are. They are absolutely brilliant. But what I found I'd done was I'd done one wheel, then I'd done another, but I hadn't done it the same way as that one. So I kept this one as a reference, and what the plan was to undo one of the other ones that I'd done correctly to learn how I'd done it, and then rebuild all three. I think there's 5 wheels in total. But do you know what? So I was saying to Chris, the first time I did this, there's 4 rows of spokes in there. The first row took me a couple of hours, I think. Is that right, Chris? Then I did the second row, and as I got about halfway through, they all kind of spring-loaded and the whole lot came undone. And I think I invented some new swear words. And then I did them again. And by the time I'd done this about 5 times, I can do a row in less than half an hour. Not rushing it, you know, I never rush it. But yeah, that's done. But yeah, it's really just a case of once you know what it is, really hard learning curve. But if I'll say this to anyone, if anyone's struggling, I'd be quite happy to do it for people. Well, certain people. I wouldn't want to be inundated with about 15 wheels from people saying, can you do this for me? Because there's only so many hours in the day, and work seems to have taken all of them, or most of them. Right, so part B of stage 4 involves bringing this white bit back. And what we're going to be doing now, it looks like we're going to be putting some cable holders there and there. So that looks like these 2 pieces here. And they will go in with XM screws. That's how many screws they have, guys. XM. And XM are, I'm calling them washer screws, or sometimes we call them top hat screws. So, right. Yeah, that was the same with the E-Type Jaguar. How did you get on with those wheels then yourself, Chris? Lord Pete says, yep. I pre-ordered it for Marie to build. Oh, that's a good cop out. Oh, I'm not going to build them, but get Marie to do them. That looks a nice build. Yeah, you can build that. I want to do the E-Type Jag again, but this time change the color. Yeah, because Agora, see, I'm still Model Space. When they changed warehouses, the build stopped. Now, I was kind of pretty much waiting in the queue to have my Jaguar started again, and it's never started. And I've been waiting so long for that to start. I'll be honest with you, I have no interest in it at all. It's a car. I'm really not into cars. I only got the car because it's a bit of an icon. But also what they said to me with regards to the Fiat was, if I wanted to buy all of the remaining packs, they will give me a 20% discount. I was earning good money at the time. So I said, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. So I ordered like 8 packs at 20% discount, about 8 packs or maybe 9 packs. And they delivered them all. There's 24 packs in the series. And they sent me all bar pack 23. And I can't build pack 24. So I've got an almost built Fiat and I feel almost conned. Having said that, when I was building it, before I pre-bought the packs, I had an issue with one of the wires. So I rang them up and I said, I've got a problem. Can you send me out a replacement? But I actually managed to fix it. And that was well over a year ago. It might even have been 2 years ago. What I'm doing with this, because the screw hole is just a slot, I'm just going to pop the screw in part way. Then I'm going to hook this on, and then I'm going to finish screwing it. Yeah, so that replacement part arrived about a month ago. So it arrived about 2 years after I'd reported it as a problem. So does that mean pack 3 is 23 is on the way? You know, I don't know. So I mean, if pack 23 does arrive, it will be gratefully received. Other than that, I mean, the Fiat's still sitting on the shelf, and it's not moved in 2 years. So, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't got any faith in Model Space anymore. Between what Model Space have done and Eagle Moss going bust, I'm really wary of any part works. And then of course I say I've signed up. I'm actually sitting here thinking, if the Gauntlet ET and Robocop doesn't finish, I'm really not shocked. I'm kind of expecting it. But and then of course Hachette won't give me any more builds anymore, which is quite funny. Right, okay, so I'm up to figure D now. C. Right, so figure C, I need to attach this. So that's going into there with 3 screw holes, and that will be attached with DM screws. DM. So I think what I'll do with these is I might just pop the middle one in first. And then use that to help me line up the other 2. That'll do. Tell you what, this is getting hard work, not because of the build stages, but because of all the flipping around, moving it upside down and round and twisting it round. This one's obviously the harder screw, because there's not quite so much working space in here, but that's going in nicely. So I made a promise on another stream. I promised that's going to look awesome. Have I lied? I don't think I have. So I've still got the light to go in. Should that already be in? Oh no, that's coming in figure D. Right, chat, catch up, and I'll have a quick mouthful of coffee. I've come prepared today. I've got a double-sized mug, which I've made coffee. To be honest with you, I've run out of instant coffee, so I'm forced to have the filter coffee, which I'm not complaining about. So Chris Dave says, hi Peter, hi Peter. That's no worries, Penny. Penny, I would be the same. when you're up, get used to a certain name. Hi Lee, hi Chris. 10 watching and only three thumbs up. Come on, people, smash that like. Yes, no likes, no Tahiti. Right, Lord Peter Webster, you know what I'm like, Penny. Can't help myself. I know you are too good, too nice. If that is what it's going to be on your, gravestone. I think he's too nice. That's the fault he's got with him. Hi Lee. In time, I want to get some LED strips for my desk. I'm looking. I'm looking at doing something like a like desk light. I'm looking at various bits of desk lighting. Penny, can I ask for permission to share something for the Dutch Foundation? You don't even need to ask permission to ask permission. If it's all for good, you can do it. So do you need a spanner then or something? I think you might do. Give me a second, guys. This is all for the good of the channel. Oh, let me just mute that, otherwise you'll hear me through again. Right. I can't find where you are. Dominique, I'm trying to find some chat with you. Here we are. Right, so Dominique, you now have a spanner. It's given me two options. I don't know. I'll tell you what, we'll use that one. Right, so Dominic, you now have a span, because I believe if you're not a moderator, I don't think you can post links or things. So, yeah, you can now post links or do whatever. Chris Davis says, hi, little history. Hi, Terry. I still have the spare screws. Do you know what? Right, I was looking at something the other day. It was to do with weighting tires. You know, when you do model aircraft, you sand the tires down, and then you have to rescribe the detail to make it look like the weight's pushing them down. And then the guy was saying the only time it's different is sometimes they supply you with a rubber wheel. So what you have to do is put a screw through the tire and screw it into the center of and then obviously the head of the screw will pull that tire in. Now on this particular example, he was saying this screw is a little bit too big, but it's the only one I've got. And I'm sat there and my mind immediately went, I've got hundreds of screws left over from part work builds. So I thought, I'm going to keep them now, aren't I? Especially these. I noticed there's one on here. There we are. This XP screw, that's quite a long one. That would be absolutely perfect, wouldn't it? I mean, I've probably got enough screws to weigh about 4 million aircraft tires. Right, did I have more? Yeah, I did. I got more. I don't know if I screwed all of those in. I know that one's screwed in. See, this is what happens when you finish. Yeah, it's got some more left in it. So this must have quite a lot. Yeah, there we go. Right, so. Oh, that's still not in. It's because I'm screwing the wrong bit. I'm screwing them in. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right. I knew I hadn't screwed them in, and I couldn't figure out why those screws were pretty much in. But at least we know they're in tight now, don't we? Because I've screwed a bit more in. There we go. There we go. That's still feeling loose somewhere. You know, I think it's loose there. I think once this bit is in, I think, yeah, that is loose there, but you can see there's a couple of screw holes there. So I'm not going to panic too much about it. Right, so DuPont do electrical terminals until, there we go. So I learn something new every day. Like I said, I always thought they just made tights because I bought plenty of pairs and it says, buy DuPont. And now I'm buying screwdrivers by them. So they're obviously some kind of science tech company, aren't they? Electronics, and Who knows? Maybe they've made bits for the space shuttle. Wouldn't surprise me. Right, so I have got somewhere. There it is. So, figure D. Then secure the reflector assembly to the rear of the fender panel with 2 IP screws. Oh, I see now. I couldn't see where the IP screws will go on. So let's try and figure. Right, can either go that way or that way. I think it's going to go that way. Yeah, because like, there's little cutouts there. Can you see that cutout there? So line that screw up, screw hole, and then line the second screw. This is going in as well as I'd like it to. I think it's one of those jobbies where you've got to just put the screws in and it will just pull it all together. So YM IP. Oh, they're not very long. They're a bit shorter than I expect them to be, given how you've got to kind of get in there. So in 3 weeks, I'm starting on my new desk, which I'm very excited about. What I've done is the plan was to build a workbench. But that's kind of evolved into a new desk. That went in a little bit too easy. You know, when you put a screw in and there's like no resistance at all, that's what just happened. Yeah, so I've got my desk where it is at the moment, and it worked well. Still haven't finished it. But I've got a 4 meter long wall. I don't like this. This isn't a good fit. There we go. So I've got a 4 meter long wall, which I was going to use as a workbench. And then I thought, so I was talking to International Scale Modeler, and I've been using some smelly paints, some Mr. Hobbies and stuff like that. And that really triggered my asthma. Plus I have 2 cats in the house. So I've sort of said, yeah, I can only use acrylic paints. And then someone said to me, have you got a spray booth? And I'm thinking, do you know what? I might try them again with a spray booth. That's really nice. I'm happy with that. Shame there's no lights on the bottom bit, but it does say reflector, doesn't it? So so I thought, yeah, I'll try them with a spray booth, even if it doesn't, even if I still can't use Mr. Hobbies. And it's this stuff that's seems to have triggered it, is the Mr. Color Thinner. I mean, it's really strong. But even if that doesn't work, is it really going to hurt me, especially if I've got asthma, to use a spray booth with acrylic paints? Because acrylic is plastic, isn't it? So when you're inhaling paint fumes, you're actually settling in your stomach as plastic. So I'm going to get a spray booth. So of course now I need a spray booth area, don't I? Right, old gang. I think I speak for most of us when I say less of the old. Chris Davis Hobbies, hi. Then again, I'm old. How's you, little history? And Mike, you're 353. Rossi is turning into a nightmare build. See, now I want to do it. You know me. I love the challenging ones. Yes, Chris Barr. Hello, Mike. How was it then in Victorian times? Chris, not as bad as the Iron Age. You'll have to ask Penny about the Bronze Age. LOL, Mike, make sure you have a car like Flintstones had. On second thoughts, I should delete that last message, but Penny will see it anyway, so either way, I'm in trouble. Listen, Smith Speed, Mike, we blame you for everything, so you might as well have something you've actually done when we blame it on you. Alex says, I've been doing different models, been building different models, but it's so nice to see you back building the Ecto and you're looking well. Thank you. I'm feeling rather well. Between work, it's a bit of a funny one because I love being basically on a 10-week period. I have 3 weeks in London. Then I have 3 weeks in Kilmarnock, which is my home depot now. I then have another 3 weeks in London. Then I have a week's holiday, which is only actually 6 days because I have to travel on the train. Now, when I go to London, I don't mind admitting this, I earn loads of money. They give me meal expenses and stuff, and I'm saving a hell of a lot of money. Basically, I think I can buy a house in 10 years, maybe even less. Don't know how long this job's going to last, obviously, but I'm trying to save up for a deposit. So I'm really earning the money, and I'm making use of my time off. There's a lot of places you can go in London, believe it or not, that's free. Science Museum, RAF Museum. They let you in these places for free, and then they ask for a donation at the door, and a suggested donation is £5. But to be honest with you, even £5, that's not a lot, is it? So by the time you chucked in the tube, day out in London for less than 20 quid, I think that's really good. And, if you're working hard, I don't think that's an awful lot. So, you realise this is extra chat for Penny to eventually get to. Mike's fault, LOL. Flange screws. That's the top hat screws, isn't it? I knew there was another name for them, but I'm going to stick with me top hat screws or me washer screws because I like that name. You need to put the skirt on that fender, flange screws. Chris Campling did my E-type. There we go. As model skirt space was out of the display case, I had 2-pack. Two packs free, the last 2. I ordered the most expensive loco to date today. Oh, you didn't? Yeah, but then it's worth it with you, isn't it? You get these people that spend a lot of money on a hobby and they're not really that passionate about it. And then you get the people who really are passionate and they're the ones who deserve the expensive ones. So, yeah, you deserve it. It's nice to see you spend some money on yourself rather than spending it all on other people. So awesome, Peter. Hi, Dom. And yellow E-type Jag. Yeah, you like yellow, don't you? You've been to post office yet, Lee? I'm doing a live stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. on my channel. There is a 48-hour construction this weekend with an auction. We start tomorrow at 6:30 Dutch time, which I think will be 5:30 p.m. UK time, which I'm guessing, depending exactly where you are, will be about half noon in America, because I think they're about 5. I think America are 5 to 7 hours behind the UK, depending on exactly where you are. Is it 3 time zones in America? So Dominic's posted that link. Now I can see that link, I don't recognize that channel name. So yeah, I don't. Oh, he's got 1 subscriber. Well, he's got 2 now. He's got no videos. But so is it actually going on to that channel? So Lord Peter Webster sub for that. Thank you, Peter. Me too. Because this is what we do. We advertise people's channels. I don't tell people to sub. I just tell them to have a look. And if they like it or they want to give them encouragement, then they can sub. But, if I could get everybody maybe 1 subscriber a week or 1 subscriber a month, and maybe we've got 20 or 30 people doing that, you'll be surprised how quickly the channel will grow. Lord Peter Webb, so what's being auctioned, Dom? Thank you, Chris. No problem. Sorry, I am whizzing a bit. You will love all the pipes on Rossi. They are everywhere. Now, will they need repainting to proper chrome, or are they all right in that sense? Hello. Oh, I see you're loving your toy, are you? He's having his nightly love with his toy. Press that like for Penny. I have a spray booth. I also use all paint Alclad and put on an M3. I have a mask, and then the the actual spray booth is going to have like a bit, call it, what do you call it, extractor fan. I couldn't think of the word. So I think I am caught. No, 4 time zones in the year. Where I am, it's like a 5. Right, so 6:30 p.m. in Dutch time, I believe, will be 12:30 in the afternoon in America, because I think Holland are 1 hour in front of the UK. Been to Holland, a lovely place. We went there when I was at college. Sorry, oh, that's just fell off. Right, okay, here comes a fun bit. Thread the left and right tail light cables 66C, 66D, and the rear door switch 66F, and right rear door switch 66J through the wire. So which ones? Well, that's the door switch. That's obvious. The rear door switch. Oh God. It's, do you know what? I have a big desk, but do you know what? Actually, that's not even nearly big enough when you're doing things like Ecto, is it? Right. I'm going to have to turn this on its side. I don't think I've got many other options. Do you know what? When you're doing this every week, you learn where to hold it, to lift it. Look, I've just pushed the door out. The switches, from what I understand, they're really clever. They're all going to be, they're all going to go into the same place, and that each of them are going to trigger the internal lights. So when you open any door, it's going to set the lights off. Right, I'm going to have to put something underneath the back because it's rolling. It's not a perfect square, so we'll try a roller kitchen. Oh, that's worked. Roller kitchen roll. So left and right tail light cables. I think that's these. No, it's not those. Could be this one. See, this is where they've gone wrong. They tell you 66C, 66D, but here, in this earlier stage, this is how they should do it. No, not this one. This one, 66C, marked with a Q. And there it is, marked with a Q. But then they've gone, oh, hang on. Right, that's 66C then, isn't it? Right, that's 66C. Left and right tail light cables. Right, so then we want... Oh, God. I can't do this, guys. There's the cable there. So where's that cable gone? That's the door switch, isn't it? Right, that's the other switch labeled R, because it's the same color as these, and I can see it does go into tail lights. So the rear door switch and right rear door switch, that's the right rear door switch. So one of these, oh God. You know, I might have to actually look through all the magazines and hope I've got stage 66. If anyone can help me. Right, so let's do a time synchronization. P40 says it's 4:02 right now. Is that 4:02 p.m.? So it's 4:02 or 16:02. It's 21. Well, obviously that was 4 minutes ago. So it's just gone 4 p.m. for P40. It's just gone 9 p.m. for me. I'm assuming, Dominique, that it's just gone 10 o'clock for you. Right, so they are all black pipes. Oh, right. Okay, black's all right. Scale models at Lord Peter Webster. I'll definitely look in Dom. It's 4:02 right now, and that's us caught up. Right, guys, I am... Basically, this is asking me for 1, 2, 3, 4 cables, but I've got 5 cables. So that means either they've made a mistake and they want 5 cables, or one needs to be left, or I've done one wrong. Right, so thread the left and right tail light cables. So that's definitely this one. So that's obviously going to go underneath there, isn't it? I know you can't see it. Do you think it might help if I switch to my big camera? It will mean that you will see all my mess on the table. Do you think that's going to be better? I know it's a little bit out of focus, but it, oops, might help a little bit. Tell me if you want the camera change, guys. So this one is the right tail light. That's the left tail light. The rear door switch is definitely this one. I did have it right. So yes, sorry guys. So these 3 wires are going to go into there, and they're going to come up through there and through that cable tidy there. This is loose. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right. So I'm gonna... It is a good camera angle, is it? Okay. Right, bear with me. I'm just going to get some masking tape. I think if I just put a little bit of masking tape in strategic places, it might just help me. And then once it's screwed in, we can take the masking tape off. So I think they want to come up through there. We never know. I might actually leave the masking tape on. Right, so through there and there. So I know you can't see from that angle, but these wires are now taped there. So they're going to come up into there, and they're going to go round into this cable tidy, like so. And then this one's going to come up into the cable tidy as well. I don't remember, well, I wouldn't have done this on the other side, would I? Because there was only the 1 wire. So this is one of those nice cable tidies where you have a little gap there. But the downside is it means that they can slip out. Right, so if we now pull these wires as we bring this closer, see, they're falling out again. Right, so that wants to go, I think that wants to go through that little notch there and down into the inside. These want to go, look at that. Is that not amazing? Do you know what? I don't think I need to do all that fuss. Right, so now I've got to try and flip it. So I'm thinking, as there's nothing on the roof, let's flip it on the roof, shall we? I can't help thinking I'm actually making this slightly more complicated than it is. But my excuse would be, I can't roll it. I can't roll it because I've got wing mirrors. Right. So I need to secure this as quickly as I can. Somehow. Right. That's not going to hold there on its own. So Let's get that masking tape. I know this is a bit wasteful, but at least until I get the first couple of screws in, that's not going anywhere. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus Christ. Right, so hello Spirit. I've been up 5 seconds and you've jumped on my chair. Right, so we need to put in 2 IM screws, YM screws, then 6, 7 IM screws, and then 5 NP screws. So I think what I'm going to do, I will put in this IM screw first, and I'm going to take the opportunity to just manipulate these wires to go that side of the screw rather than this side, like I have done there. Right, and then we'll get that IM screw in if I can find the screws. So let's get the screws ready. So we need IMs, we need YMs, and we need NPs. So I'm going to do this slowly, guys. There's so many screws and so many different holes. I think it's going to be quite easy to get confused. Right. So good. That's a good camera angle. Good camera angle. Looks awesome. Can't wait to restart mine. Is that scale 1 to? I think it's 1 to 6 scale. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 1 to 6. Can anyone else correct me? It doesn't say in the magazine. No, it's not saying in the magazine. I'm pretty sure it's 1 to 6 scale. Or, to put it more accurately, it's in flipping huge scale. Oh, it is 1 to 8 scale, is it? Lord Peter says, I'm off now, Penny. See you next time. Good night, all. I'll probably be thanking you tomorrow, won't I? Take care, Peter. Good night, Peter. Take care. And night, Pete. I am live tomorrow at 5 p.m. So, yeah, Anfield Road Layout in the Loft. If you are not subscribed to him, give his channel a little look. He does a lot of... I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Your models sound boring. They're made of cardboard. But actually, they're not boring. They're far from boring. Right, guys. I'm going to make this slightly easier on myself. Can you give me a second? What I want to do is I want to photocopy this sheet and then I can mark off each screw as I put them in. But what I've got to do is, first of all, get all the crap off the printer and then photocopy it. Because I don't really want to mark the original magazine in case I make a mistake. So, do you know what? Years ago, when these 3-in-1 printers came out, when they were more popular, I bought one from Lidl. Hello, you love the printer, don't you? Spirit loves the printer. You know, you see these cat videos of cats attacking printers. She sticks her head in with the printer, with a paper coming out. I'm worried that she's going to get a paper cut right across the face. Why is that not? Oh, if only you could see it, guys. Right, Danielle, my girlfriend got the Knight Rider, not yet complete, but it's already large in 1 to 8. Yeah. This isn't quite as big as the Eddie Stobart, and that's only 1 to 12 scale. Right. So that's that photocopied. So what I'll do is, I got me, it's only a dry white marker, but as I put the screws in, I'll mark them off on the instructions. I do like live building because I can take my time on this. With the pre-recorded, I mean, I don't ever rush a build, never ever rush a build, but you are conscious of how long the video's taking. That's why I like it when I'm caught up, and then I can just do one magazine per video. Right, that's going in very, very nicely. Actually, I'm going to switch to my other screwdriver. I got these as well, and I almost sent them back because they're regular screwdriver heads. But I have found, if I can remember what I've done with it, this has got a really nice handle. Yeah, it's got a really nice handle for like when you're doing metal screws. So if you put that in, well, you don't need this bit in, this is just an extension. But somewhere, here we are, I've got a big from small converter. Actually, I'm not going to put that end in, that's a bit too excessive. So I can use a regular screwdriver, and that handle just gives me a little bit more, much better if I'm doing tough metal screws. And I'm actually going to change the head as well. I think I need a bigger screwdriver head. That's just not quite meaty enough. So I'm changing that to a PH. Oh, no, that's PH00. I want to change it to PH1. I want to go bigger, not smaller. Right. Yeah, that's good. Lovely. That's in. That's in. So this is obviously going to go nowhere, is it? By the time we put 13 screws in for that one bit, that's not going anywhere. This is still screwing. I've split it. Bugger. That's why I like doing 13 screws. Right. So that one's done. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I will just loosen that though. Can't believe I've done that. One thing I advise everyone not to do, and I've screwed that in so tight, is actually split the plastic. Still, you know, don't do as I do. I make the mistake so you don't have to. Right, so I want to put the YM screws in next, but before that, I want to make sure that's all right. Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of posts there. This wire is to this side of the posts, and then just above the post there's a gap, so we can just pull that wire up, but it's going to slip between the screw holes. So I'm going to wait till I put the 2 screws in and just close that gap, and that'll probably click in. Right, YM. Oh, these are very long screws. So yeah, the new desk that I'm doing, it's going to feature, it's going to have everything that this desk has got, but it's also going to have the things that I've planned on it having, which I haven't got around yet. This is a little bit awkward angle, so I'm screwing quite slowly. I'm actually screwing as quickly as I can. So one of the features it's going to have, this, you see this board that I've got an A1 size cutting mat, which is fantastic for most jobs. But I'm actually going to have 3 removable tops, and I'm going to have a little drawer system where I can slide them in. One is going to look like this with the cutting mat on it, and then the other one is all going to have little borders around it as well. The next one, I'm going to have either a piece of rubber or a piece of like really dense foam, and I'm going to cover it with the foam, and then that's going to be covered on top with a piece of purple cloth, and that's going to be my part work table. So it'll be nice and soft. It'll only be like a thin piece, might be a rubber mat, but it'll either be foam or something. So obviously it'll be a little bit softer. And then what I want to do is I want to make a couple of drill a load of holes in it, going all along the edges, and I want to make some strips of wood which will be covered, so that if I ever need to prop things up but you don't want to place them down, say for example if I was doing a police car and it had the lights on the top and I need to turn it upside down, I don't want to place it down because I'm going to knock the lights out. So I can then put these bits of wood in so I can then prop it on. So it's going to have that. And then the third one, I can't remember what I was going to do with it, but I was going to have a third table. And then the one with the cutting mat, it'll have like little sections in it. So like, for example, this is my little glue thing. So I'm going to have a little hole in it. So it's just that big, so I can put those in. And then I'm probably going to make a bit of wood that's going to have holes drilled in it, just big enough for these, just so that everything's in its place. One of the things that really bloody annoys me, and it's my fault, not anyone else's, I put something down, then I pick something else up, then I go back to the original thing and I can't find it. So when its place is on the top, then you're not going to find it. But if you have an actual little home for it and you discipline yourself to put it back in that little home, you know, paintbrushes, we'll have a little mini paint stand. All right, V, you off to the gym? My lodge is just leaving. Bless him, he works hard, you know. I do moan about it. I did have a go at him today. He has it. Oh, you are joking me, aren't you? Oh, for fuck's sake. Screws just snapped. I don't know if you can see that, guys. Screws just snapped off. Still, it's in okay because that first screw's gone in. So, safety screws. See what I mean? I put my pen down. I can't find it. Does anyone remember where I put the pen? The one that I used to mark off the letters. How do I lose something like that so easily? Welcome to my world. I don't think the cat's just made out. Oh, there it is. See, I blame the cats for everything, but it's usually never the cats. Right, YM and IM. Right, so I've got 6 IMs to do next. That can go in the bin before I confuse it with something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, that paint is just sorry, Anfield, did I not finish what I said? Because you've put okay, I'm okay, sorry. Yeah, your models, they're made of cardboard, which sounds boring. But when you watch them do them, they're actually really good. Because I did some cardboard models before, but there didn't seem to be any interest in it. You know, the little ones where you get these free plans online and you can print them off onto cardstock, and then you sit there and you cut them all out and you're scoring lines and cutting lines and gluing lines. And I was doing a roller coaster. And I remember someone saying to me, oh, is there any chance you can do something else? I really didn't enjoy that. And I think that was kind of the way it was. Right, where's this going then? According to this, it's going in there. Or did I just screw that in the wrong place? Oh, for crying out loud. I have. I screwed that in the wrong place. So why did that one fit then? That's why I snapped the end off. Right, I'm going to put the next YM in before I take that one out. Good job I've got a spare, isn't it? So what I've done is I've screwed the two YMs in there. I know you can't, so I'll see if I can get this camera in. See if I can do a virtual camera. Loading. Right. So what I've done, see that screw there? And that's the one that's broken. Those two screws should actually have been there. And the ones that I'm working on next should go in there. So, yeah, that's my cock up. Actually, I quite like using these two cameras. I can just switch the spotlight between them. So what I'll do is I'll do this top one first using a spare screw. Oh, that's better, isn't it? I think these are the same width screws. They're just different lengths. That's why it allowed me to screw those in. Right, that's in. So now I'll take the other one out, and I've just got to hope that there's enough space in that one because it broke quite down the shaft. So I might get away with this, guys. That's a bit of a lucky escape if I did. So, see, this is the thing. I used to be fairly flawless with, I say fairly flawless. I do the part works and I'm usually all right at them. I think I'm so out of touch with this. See, when you do it every week, you kind of know how the creators are thinking. And I think because I've not really done much on this for, must be at least a year. I did a lot of it off camera. But I don't know. Teresa, you know when I did that, didn't you? That was a long, long time ago, even when I did the bit off camera. Right, so that's them definitely. So let's try this one first and we'll see if I got away with it. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. It's broken too high up. Never mind. I'm pretty sure that one screw missing out of 12 isn't going to kill, is it? Right. I can't remember doing this many screws on the other side. I'll have a look in a sec. Yeah, must be. Right, so the next two I'll do this side, which is going to be, I'm just checking the NP screws now. Right, looks like the NP, yes. So the NP screws are all going along the bottom. Right, that makes this all very easy now. So we want this screw in. Do you know what? I'm gonna find I'm going to go back to this one. The reason I'm going to go back to this one is I know how my hand is going to feel when I finish screwing all these in. And this is a ratchet screwdriver. So it's quite handy doing these ones next because these are the hardest ones. So this is why I've always loved this screwdriver. It's you can use it just as a normal ratchet, but if you hold this, it actually goes in both directions. But because I'm so close to the end, this is actually really hard. So I'm just going to have to hold the end. Those middle ones will be fine. It's just that there's not much working space. I think I can take that masking tape off now as well. Surprising how strong that tape is, you know. There you go. Having said that, I just broke it. I'm not sure if that's gone in
there seems to be quite a few turns. Ah, that's stiffening up now. You know, it's funny how that goes, isn't it? You're sitting there tight and you think it's not going anywhere, and then all of a sudden it's not, doesn't want to go in anymore. Right, let's get that masking tape off. That little kitten of mine, Spirit, she's amazing. She can find absolutely anything to entertain herself with. She's currently playing with a piece of brown paper. Yeah, P40 saying it's a lot of screws to get that fender on. Yeah, that's why I'm not worried about one. I mean, this is definitely going nowhere. Oh, I meant to say, now I've got these two screws in, that can now come round. Right, so they're the hard ones in. These ones, because I've got more space to work with, I can put my screwdriver to good use now and use that ratchet facility. Facility? Is that the right word? Oh God, my hand's going all over the place there, wasn't it? There we go, that one's in. And right, let's see how these, that's gone in. Yes, that's actually in exactly the same position as, yeah, it would be. They've actually come out of the holders, but they're still in the right position. So all's good in the hood. So guys, what I've pretty much said to you here, you'll see my various builds, and I sometimes use different screwdrivers on different builds. Different drivers do different jobs. This is one of my better ones, especially for metal. But as you can see from the width of it, it's absolutely on my bear, aren't I? I'm so used to working to the camera that's there. As you see, it's quite wide. So if you need to get into narrow spaces, this is a good screwdriver. Sometimes I put something down, can't see it. This comes with a boot master. This must be 4 or 5 years old. And I'm just really surprised at how good it is. Right, so let's move that up there out of the way. Got 2 holes in the side there, so obviously something's coming in there. So now we want 5 NP screws. And I'll work from this end, because the further I work down, the more space I'll have to work with. It is quite awkward getting into these, working on this end. You see, I've not really got much space there, and that's not lining up. Why is that not lining up? That doesn't want to go. Right, we'll try the next one along, and then maybe that'll pull. What's that? An NP, isn't it? So that's going into plastic. Yeah, that's not going in either. Right, okay. Rethink strategies. Obviously that's not lined up, is it? When you got 2 screws not gone in. I don't know. I'll try the next one along. I'll just keep trying the next one along until one of them goes in. I would suggest that once one goes in, it'll pull it all into place. That's not going in either. Okay. What do I do, guys? Right. Rethink strategy. Right, I'm going to switch you to the other camera, because I think that can give you a better view. So what I'm having trouble here, these pegs, that these go into. They're not lining up quite right. So I don't know if I can push or pull, or if I just have to push really hard. That feels, yes, I'm getting somewhere on that one. That one, I just pushed that one in really hard. And that's the second one of the 5. So if I try the same tactic with the 4th one of the 5, maybe that will, that's going in. That's going in. Oh, but that's hard work. Right. I don't really think it matters. I mean, it's not, so I don't mean it doesn't matter, because if it didn't matter, they wouldn't give us the screws. But I think it will still work without those screws. So if I can get any of them in, yeah, that's going in. So obviously what's happened is, as I've put some screws in, it's pulled it into shape. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that end one in, because I'm having to push hard and there's not really so much space to maneuver in that end. But they're going in lovely now. Just, I've hurt me back a little bit pushing so hard, but that's the way it's got to be done. I'm just glad I'm off work tomorrow. Yeah, that's going in. That's going in. That's fine. Oh. So obviously what's happened is that fit wasn't 100% perfect fit. And once I've sort of pushed hard, it's pulled that peg up a little bit, and then it's pulled it into shape. I'm convinced that I'm getting the same issue with the gauntlet, because you've got such a big piece of metal. It's slightly out of shape. And then as you're adding pieces to it, the parts are really struggling to fit in, and you kind of bend it and pull it. And then as the more I build, it's pulling it into the correct shape. It's not out by much. Right. Oh. So where are we up to? Where are we up to? I'll sub Daniel in a minute. Right. God, I've lost the chat now. Sorry, guys. Right. So that's done. That's cool. So I feel bad. I don't know if I said the wrong thing to Lee. I don't know if I finished what I was saying. Sometimes I say things if you only hear the beginning. Right, I've just followed Lee and I'm live. Yeah, you keep. So Dominique says it's not boring. I think it's different. Yeah, that's what I mean. If I said to you, oh, I'm doing cardboard models, you might be tempted to go, that's boring. But then when you actually do them, they're actually quite interesting, really, really interesting. But you could say that with a lot of things, couldn't you? I've got a woman at work. She thinks I'm weird because I make scale model aircraft. And I said, well, it's actually, and then when I showed her some of my work, she's like, oh, that's really nice. Right. I'll sub Daniel in a minute. Thank you so much. Just subbed. Penny, I've been to sleep since then. Good point. Hi, Teresa. I can hardly remember yesterday. I can just. LOL, Teresa. Mike's fault. It's always Mike's fault, Chris. Right. It is a lot of screws to get that fender on. Yeah, but it ain't going anywhere, is it? Chris says, we all know about the screwing sessions, she said. LOL, I miss them laughs. It's not going in. That's what she said. Yeah. Took the words out of my mouth. Hi, Caitlin. Hope you're feeling better and it's okay. Good. I don't want you to take me the wrong way. I don't mean that nastily. The point I'm trying to make is, I think the point I'm trying to make there is that you make a subject interesting. There you go. Was that my get out clause? Right. So with all that screwing, all these wires have fallen out of the clips, which I think we kind of knew that was going to happen, didn't we? And that's really tidier than I thought it was going to be. I think really the key is, let me spin this round. I've got my purple towel, so it should be all right. I think you have to be aware at all times where these wires are. Keep them as tight as possible. And then here, I don't know how much length we're going to need there. So you really want to keep that as tight as you can. And I know what's coming next, because I could see a wheel arch there, but I can't see one there. So you will be surprised to know that is not the end. Oh, that is the end of that stage. So that was a bit of a hefty one. So this is what we've got left. So that is going to go in something like that, isn't it? I don't know. Something like. That's got a hole in it. Why is that? Oh, because that's probably going to go like that. They're not going to come out through the wheel arch, are they? Tell you what, should we have a look at the next stage and then we'll find out for ourselves what's going to happen. So, stage 114, skirting rear fender and rear license plate. And it looks like we've got quite a bit to do. So, let's go to the front. And that is going to be the last stage. So bear with me, I've got a box of bits somewhere. The stage I'm looking forward to, oh, it's this one. Right. Yes, I'm happy. So you can't see, I'll switch cameras and you'll see what I'm going to need in a minute. So I keep my parts in a box. And I try to keep them in order. And when a new pack comes, I take all of the stages out. I put the new ones in. The higher the number, the lower down it goes. Then I put them all back in. So there's 115. And if I've done this right, without looking, yeah, there's 116. But 114 is too big for the box. So, and I forgot about that. So I might need a minute, guys. So I'm going to suggest if you guys need a coffee, now might be the time to go and get it. Because I've been tidying boxes and I wouldn't be... Here it is. Right. Yeah. So there's stage 114, which as you can see is too big for the box. So... P40 says keeping those wires tidy is a full-time job. Right. So it's not going in. Hi, Caitlin. Hope you're feeling better. Dominique, to me, they often say it's an old man's hobby, but I see here in the Netherlands, yeah, I always thought of it as it's a young person's hobby and an old person's hobby. I think what seems to be quite typical is that people will do scale models as a kid. Then at some point they will give up and then they'll come back into the hobby at a later stage. Not everybody. And that's pretty much the route I went. I did loads and loads of scale models as a kid. And it just makes me laugh because I was all right at them in the sense that I brush painted. I used enamels, which kind of helps. I didn't do gloss varnishing for the decals, and the decals were applied with water. And I couldn't paint white. And I used to do US Navy aircraft. And there's a lot of white on US Navy aircraft. But I remember doing some good results, despite all of that. Well, I say enamel paint helps, doesn't it? Right, so stage 114. So I apologise for any noises. I'm not a fan of cutting bags open on stream, but we're on a live stream, so I don't have an awful lot of choice. It's not so much this plastic bag, it's the plastic container inside, because they are very nicely packaged. Now this is the one that made me laugh, because I have been keeping very carefully for years now this steering wheel and this, and they say to us, where is it? Return to your indicator assembly from phase 36 and replace the indicator stalk with the new version you received in pack 114. So I've kept all that for nothing. Oh no, I've just kept the stalk for nothing. Oh, actually, that makes sense now. Can't remember how that goes. It goes like that. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Oh, I see what they've done. Let's keep that one in there. Oh, I can't see the difference between the two. Oh, this one's got a little rubber washer on it. That's the difference. Why could they not just give us a rubber washer then? That's the difference. Where are we? That's the new one. That's the old one. Anyone got any thoughts on that? Right. To me, I've said right. So keeping those wires tidy is a full-time job. I started this hobby in December 2016. Don't give up. Do me a favour. See, you find the top modelers, I think most of them are the ones who did it as a kid and haven't given up. I say I gave up when I became a late teenager. Sex, drugs and rock and roll kind of became my new hobby, except I didn't do many drugs and I didn't do much rock and roll, and not an awful lot of sex either. But I got a job and I got a car. Right, so what we have in this issue, cannot tell these two apart for now. We have two shiny left and right skirting. Obviously they'll only go on one way, so we'll find out what they are. Then we have the rear bumper. I think that's plastic, but it's very good plastic. And then we have the rear license plate, which is exactly as you would expect it, Ecto-1 New York, and that is metal. That's actually rather nice. And then we have the indicator stalk. So I suspect that because we've got some no, I don't think there'll be a lot of flipping. There's also a shed load of screws, but I go through the screws every time. You get the idea of screws, don't you? Right, so first ensure that the cable from the ceiling light, what cable from the ceiling light? 66E. There is no cable from the ceiling light. Look. Oh, is out of the way of the screw post, figure A. Oh, that's going to be this one then. There isn't any screws. Oh, I think they might mean this one then. Oh, yeah, I think what they mean is the door switches. I don't know. Right, so, yeah, there's a wire down there somewhere. There isn't a wire down there somewhere. Should there be a wire down there somewhere? I don't know. Right, so I'm going to summarize this. We've got two pieces of skirting. Right, if this doesn't go in here, it's going to go in the other side. and I think that is the one. A little slight bit awkward, because if you look at the screw posts, they're about 45 degrees to the skirt. So you kind of have to put it in a bit funny. But that's going to slip in there like so. And that will be screwed in 1, 2, 3, and 4 with... Right, so AP screws there, VP there. Obviously, that's got something to do with the length, I guess. And now I've lost, there we are. So there's the AP and VP. Yes, look. The VPs are much longer than the APs. So let's do the AP first, which is the one that's going closest to the wheel arch. And what I'm going to try and do, when I do the opposite side, I'll try and do it from this side, so I haven't got to turn the whole thing around. And I suspect this is going to be a lot easier than the last issue. Right, yep, that's going in lovely, as you would expect. And I'm only going to, I've kind of learnt my lesson with some of these screws. I'm only going to screw that in till there's no more wiggling. Right, so then I'm going to work from this side down. So I need 3 VP screws, which, as I said, are longer. And that leaves 5 in the bag, so I guess there's 2 spare. So push that peg in, push that peg in, then push that one. So is there anyone watching this who isn't doing the Ecto-1 that is now actually insanely jealous? Not that I want to make you jealous. There's been builds out there. There's a couple of builds actually, and when it came out, I went, yeah, not for me. And then when I saw it being built, I thought, actually, that's really nice. Disney Doll's House. That is, you know, I could give you 1,000 reasons why I don't want to do the Disney Doll's House. But it looks a wonderful build. And I'm kind of jealous. I'm actually looking into dolls' houses. Maybe buy like an empty shell of a doll's house and then buy all the wallpaper and the furniture and stuff like that. But that's something for another time, isn't it? Right, so that's gone in lovely. So I'm going to put the other side in, and that's going to go in exactly the same. This is plastic, by the way, but the chrome work is actually quite nice for plastic. I see scale modelers get pieces that have got chrome on them, and the first thing they do is get a load of bleach, strip the chrome off, and then repaint it on. Right, so this is the AP screw, so I'm just double checking. Yeah, the AP screw goes in closest to the wheel arch. Always worth checking twice, guys. Even if you're, you know, if you're 99% sure, I could argue you're not sure enough. Sorry if my head's coming out. Obviously, I'm doing this backwards to save me flipping the chassis over. Right, that's fine. I'm going to give you a bit of a warning, guys. I might need to take a couple of minute break. I need a back soon video or screen, don't I? Am I doing this one first? I think I wanted to do this one first, didn't I? I'd like to have seen silver screws there. I know most of these are going to be covered up, but silver would bind. You can always put a dab of white paint on, can't you? I will flip this bit and I'll show you what it looks like. But spoiler alert, it looks nice. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours, look. Right. So This is the small but significant detail that it's added. And I think that's really nice. That's not a gap there, that's the light shining. So I've got to be careful because the bonnet's just flipped open. This bonnet is spring loaded. It needs to be. It's so heavy. And there's no catch. There is a catch for it. I can't remember. Right, so I might struggle on this. Working on the ends is my biggest issue. Biggest problem. Right, so I need 2 BM screws. BM or DM? BM. So either I've lost my screws or they've not supplied any in here. Let's see if I've got any spares. BM screws. So I've either lost the screws or they've supplied me, they've given me a couple of DM screws. But I'm going to need that. And I also need an IM screw. There's the IMs, that's right. So, right, okay, not a problem. So, let that be a lesson to you guys. Have spare screws, keep your spare screws. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the number plate. Now, it looks to me that this step is the bottom of the bumper. Do you want me to change my camera back, guys? This particular angle is a nice wide angle, but the other camera, oh, that's not a BM. Oh, here's an interesting question. I've got black BMs and oh, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be seen, is it? Oh. Right, let's use a black BM then, because I've got more of those. And I think this could do with a little touch. I thought there was a magnet in there. Right. Okay, that's one mostly in. I like to just put them in partially, because then you can let go of them and the part's not going to go anywhere. It won't sit right, but the part won't go anywhere. There we go. Surprised we're not putting 78 screws in this one compared to the fender. There we go. That's that in. That's rather nice. They're all nice. All the parts are nice. Right. So the this is going on the back here, and that's going to be attached with 3 screws, and that is upside down. Because you forget when you're upside down, you forget to sort of flip your mind, don't you? And that's going to be quite easy to put in. So decide where you're going to put your wires. So they're actually hooks. You got the little red bits on the what do you call them? They're going to go over that, and then that's going over the middle bit. But just make sure it's not in a position where you're going to nip that wire. Right, and that needs to be secured. An IM screw, I tell you what it is. Oh, duh. So all the screws that I'm missing actually came from a previous issue. All these screws are left over. Right, so we're going to drive a IM screw in the middle, which I can't find because it's here in this week's issue. And then the other 2 will be JP. So obviously this one in the middle is being driven into the metal chassis, and then the 2 are actually attaching the chassis to the bumper. Does that make sense, guys? We're attaching the bumper to the chassis, and then we're attaching the chassis to the bumper. So I'm going to stop about halfway because I've just tucked that wire under and there's still movement there. So I'm all right with that. I mean, it's obviously going to just, oh, do you know what? I forgot to take that masking tape off. I'll take that off when I've finished. So I'm sorry, guys, I'm covering everything up. That's why I wanted to change cameras. Let's see if this helps. Yeah, that helps a bit, doesn't it? So I'm actually going to be losing this body camera because the camera that the overview that you've been seeing most of the stream, that's being replaced by a camcorder. And I've got this little USB device. I'm not sure about that. That looks like I can screw that in more, but I think that's in quite tight. Yes, I've got like this video link thing where you can plug an HDMI cable into it, and then that goes into the USB, and it tricks OBS and video software into thinking it's a camcorder, it's a webcam, so you can use it as a webcam. The only drawback is, so I'm looking for some JP screws. The only drawback is that I can't find JP screws. Maybe, oh, I have to get my specs out then. Yeah, the only drawback is I can't use, I'm going to have to stand up to do the zoom. It's got 20 times zoom on it, and it's absolutely amazing. But it's also got Wi-Fi connection, so I can connect my phone to it. So under ordinary circumstances, I can control the zoom from the phone. However, when it's connected to OBS or something, for some reason I can't do that. So it means that when I do zoom, I've got to physically stand up and move the button. So it's like the old days before we had remote control TVs. We used to have to get up off the sofa, walk all the way to the TV, which you were probably sitting close to anyway, because it's probably about a 15-inch screen. And we used to have to physically push buttons. Remember that, kids? We had to get up and change the channel on the TV. Don't know if that one's going in. It doesn't feel like it feels like it's going in and then jumping, which suggests to me that it's not. Yeah, that's not lined up properly, is it? I think I might have to do the hard pressing thing like I did on the other bit. No, that's not happening. Why is that not happening then? I can see it's not lined up. What I'm trying to do, I thought I'd lost my screwdriver there. I'm going to switch the screwdriver to this one. It's a little bit more of a precision one. There we go. Yeah, that's got it. Right, so I've had to push the part back a little bit and then just come in at a very slight angle. And then what it's done is, it's because of this bit, look, that's the bit I split. Right, that's on solid. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so I've had to just pull it out a little bit, wiggle the screw, so it's coming at a slight angle. And then as I've screwed, it's pulled that part in. Right. So my grandmother still had a TV with 1 to 8. It was made of wood. The outside was sometime in the 90s. When I was a boy, I was the remote control for my parents. Yep, that was the thing. Like, usually the remote control was the youngest child, wasn't it? Or in my case, the only child. Oh, go on, this is boring. Go and turn telly over. Do I have to? And the concept of channel flicking didn't exist. Whatever channel it was on, that's the channel you watched. And I remember when they had, is it channel 4? And I raced home to watch Countdown. I think it was on at like 4 o'clock. And I've never been good at Countdown, but I'm good with the numbers game. Right. So the next stage then is we want, oh no, I need to put this away and I need to get the chassis out because we're going to be doing the steering wheel. So let me have a look at the next magazine, because if I take this and put it somewhere, put the chassis on, and then the next stage says put the body on, I'm going to be a little tiny bit upset. So I've actually got issues 31 and 32 to do. So P40, remind me where you're up to. Did you say you've got 31 but you haven't got 32? Right. Oh, that's all right. No, look. Right, I'm going to ignore the last bit of this. I'm going to take a photocopy and I'm going to do it when we next actually work on the show. Because look, this is all body work. Look, CB radio. Sorry, you can't see it, can you? Right, so the stage we're doing now, we need to put that into, we're just putting the steering wheel in. So then we go on to book 31 and we're doing more work on the body. And we're going to be, looks like we'll be doing that for that stage. Stage 115, work on the body work. Windscreen wipers, cockpit ceiling, CB Midland 77859 CB radio, and then interior steering lights. So I'm going to just put that to one side. What I'm going to do is I'll take a photocopy of it. No, I'll leave it like that. I'm sure I've got a little bag somewhere. I'll keep getting little bags. Tell you what I'm going to do. Where's... Right. I'm going to chuck that on there. Right, so I'm going to do that when next time we work on the chassis, I'll do that. Right, so disclaimer for you, Mr. P40, you have not seen what I'm about to do, so I'll give you the opportunity to turn off because you don't want spoilers. I suppose the simplest way of saying it is spoiler alert. Right. So begin by unplugging the front deck. There we go. This is how I like it. Oh, actually, let's do the parts check first. That'd be better, wouldn't it? Actually, guys, do you mind if I take a bit of a break? No, I don't need a break. I'm going to have... I've still got that much coffee left, but... I'm in a dilemma. I like my coffee warm. If I keep the cup on, it keeps... If I keep the lid on, it keeps the coffee hot. If I take the lid off, I have to drink it with the metal rim, and I don't like drinking cups. Yeah, I'm too spoiled, aren't I? You can tell I wasn't in the army. I don't like drinking out of metal cups. It feels funny on the lips. Obviously, if I was in the army, I'd have got used to it, wouldn't I? So, yeah, I bought myself these the other day. Not advertising, but I like tonics. products, but the wafer creams are nice. I'm actually in the process of writing to Tunnocks. I've got a brilliant advertising thing for them. So if you get on the train and you go into King's Cross, there's a McVitie's factory there, and they've got a massive billboard, and it says you've got to go a long way to find a better biscuit. So I want to write to Tunnocks and say, here's my idea for an advertising campaign. The train that comes in from King's Cross, I think it's Glasgow Central that comes into. You need a big board. You need a big billboard, so that everyone on the train can see it, and it'll say on it, "You've come a long way, but here is a better biscuit." So I think that would be ace. Right. Parts 115. Oh, they're blue. We have some blue na-na lights. The lights that go na-na-na-na. Oh. I bought the wrong blades the other day. Put the wrong blade in. It's a 10. It's longer, and I cut with it, and it just snapped in half. I do like those shorter ones, but I'm a little bit like Lee. I do change the blades regularly. This actually is a little bit overdue, to be honest with you. I used it quite extensively last night to cut masking tape for the Mosquito, so it will get changed before I do my next build. Right, so we have got, oh, they're actually constructed lights. Am I disappointed that we haven't had to make this change? Let's change the right. So am I a bit disappointed we didn't have to make them? I don't know. So we've got 4 of those. They are called Unity 46 deck light. And then the next bits we've got, we do have 4 of these. Unity 46 deck light base. So can I assume they're going in like, oh yeah, like that. Yeah, that's simple enough, isn't it? Then we have got, right, we have got right windscreen wiper blades, and one of these is right, one of these is left, and that's got it's got an R and an L on it. Can you see that? It's very, very small. And then we've got right and left windscreen wiper blade, and I cannot see a letter on those, but I think they'll make sense once they're on, because they're absolutely freaking identical. No, they're not. They're not identical. They're a little bit different at the tops. Right. So P40 has just said, right, hang on a sec. Right, there we are. So Anfield's got his bottle of pop, or as we call it in Scotland, bottle of ginger. I know, don't question it. MP Model Plastic, good evening, pennies and all in chat, good vibes. Hi MP, hi Lee. Once you put those lights on, they are rather easy to snap off. Right, we'll see how we go. Right, so lastly, we've got 115D right windscreen wiper base, and we've got a left and a right, and I think looking at the shape of that, that's going to make sense once we put them on. Right, so I think this is going to be a flippy over jobby. Right, so begin by unplugging the front light, the front deck light LED 67C marked with an L from the front deck light wire figure A. Right, so bear with me a sec, guys. I'm going to go over to the chassis. I'm going to find the right wire number L, and there are not many wires hanging off it anymore, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. Having said that, I cannot find them. Here they are. Right, so it's one of these bigger connections. So this is it, guys. So we've got an L on this connection and we've got two LEDs on the other. So we need to feed... Oh, I see. Right, so we need to feed that into there, and then we need to bend it down, and then we need to place in one of these. So that's going into there like so. Can you see this, guys? Yes, you can. So let's have a look. Right, I'm suggesting you line these two cables up with the two pegs, which means that that's not quite in right. So that will push in. Right, I can see. Right, so push that LED in and then almost in, give it a bit of a bend. It doesn't need a full-on bend. And then get those pegs lined up. Which is harder than it looks, because that needs more bending. There we go. I made that look harder than it was. Right, so that's one done. And then we do another one. So we're going to pick up one of these bases. We're going to slip that through there. And then we're going to pop that into the blue light. So this time, get those two wires so they all line up. Two pegs on the wire. Bend that down. Should we say 45 degrees? I think that'll work. And that was a lot easier. Now we know, well, it's not done yet, but once you know what you're doing, the job is easier. If I put this upside down, perhaps. Yes. No, that peg looks bigger. Right, can I hear a cat playing with the plates in the kitchen? There we go. Right. So something I've noticed, I accidentally got this in right the first time, so you wouldn't have noticed it. There is a correct way round on these. And the correct way, you see there's a little screw nub there on the bottom. That needs to go at the bottom because you've got two pegs. One peg's, let me have a look. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it. One peg's a little bit bigger than the other. So there's the screw nub. So it's going to go in. Having said that, these two might be different. So it's going to go in that way. It's quite hard to spot the fact that those holes are different sizes. You can see them, but I think it's one of those things. If I hadn't pointed it out, but it doesn't say. Oh, it does. Do you know what? If I actually read the instructions, I'd have realised that. Right, so that's those two done, and that's the front deck lights done. And then we need to do the back deck lights. So we're going to do exactly the same, but we need the cable marked E. I much prefer to work with letters. So where are they then? Okay, E, there we go. Right. So these feel shorter. Yes, they are shorter. They're much shorter. So, right, so same again, guys. Slip one of those bulbs in through the hole. Then push this in so they're level with the pegs for the screw nub. Bend it about 45 degrees. And then push that wire through the hole. Bring it up. And this should be one of the quickest ones I've done out of the three. There we go. Look at that. Almost. Now, if you push one in and the other one's not lined up, you're going to bugger it. It has to go like that, not like that. So just keep undoing it and then trying it again till they're lined up. Right, that one's there. I think maybe, I was about to say maybe there's like a bit of a flash or something in the hole, but actually that went in fine. Right, so last one. Let's see if I can do this in record time without rushing. Cable wire goes through there. I bet that's a shadow because no, it's a spirit. Spirit's decided she wants to play with the Airfix calendar, Airfix magazine, because she does get interested in everything. I caught her watching YouTube the other day. I was watching something quite boring and technical actually, and she came up on my desk and she just sat there watching it. There we go. That might be my best effort on that one. Right, so that's two sets of lights, which are nice, actually. I like those. Right, so I'm going to put those somewhere safe. I might need them in the next issue, actually. But right, so we need RP screws at the ready, and they look rather small. So I'll get mine. We're going to be doing the windscreen wipers next. So this is where I'm going to probably end up doing them 15 times because I can't figure out which bits are right and which bits are left. Right, so we need to take, first of all, the windscreen wiper, and it's asking us to do the right one. So that's the left one. So let's put the R face downwards, and then that, like, I think that's the wrong one. Right. Yes. So if you put the letter facing down and then bring the hole up, you see that peg is pointing downwards. So it's going to go on like that. Now, if I put the wrong peg in, it's either going to go like that, which is obviously wrong because it's going to scrape sideways, or it's going to go like that, which is upside down. So I told you we'd figure it out. How are you, Jim boy? And it actually goes in the middle, not on the edge. Like you see, there's two gaps. There's a little gap there, and we need to fix that. Did you buy me something?
Huh?
Did you buy me something?
I don't want to buy nothing.
Do you hear that, guys? He's bought me nothing.
I wasn't Jim.
Yeah, but you could have bought me something on the way home.
Well, I
I think we should have a vote now. I've got 9 viewers, so that's a nice odd number. I'm going to do a little poll. Should I evict you now? Because you
Let
didn't
me
buy
think
anything?
what I can do with something to eat. So you ready?
You want something to eat?
You want to eat something?
No, I've eaten. I had a nice.
What do you want?
I had a nice mac and cheese.
So what
Right, sorry guys. So I'm just carefully putting this screw in. and that's okay. Oh, it swivels. I don't know if that's something to get excited about. So, right, so we've got two bases. One is left, one is right. And, oh, that has actually got a letter on it. So that looks like some form of push-fit connection. Yeah, that's got a shape on it. So that needs to go that way. It's got like a horseshoe shape on it. So there will only be one way it can go. And I think that might not be the right way. God, you would think this was easy, wouldn't you? How hard can it be? There we go. Say, how hard can it be to put a windscreen? That's really nice. Is that also, I did notice it has actually got the black rubber bit on it. But it looks really nice. I don't know if they're realistic. I mean, most of the cars I own, they have black painted windscreen wiper arms, but this is obviously special. Right, so this is the left wiper and the left arm, and get that L facing downwards. Trying not to drop the wiper arm. Oh, that's interesting, because it's left, so it needs to be the opposite way around, doesn't it? So one's coming into the middle. They're both coming into the middle. Remember, it goes that way around. So that's nice. So try my best to get this screw in. And I just dropped it. There it is. Fiddly screw, fiddly screw. Screw lined up. In it goes. I like that. You know when they have little touches, just the small things. Right, and then that can go into the base, and you can actually see the shape better from behind. You can see it's flat on the bottom. And then you find the shape, and then you just got to work out which angle it goes in. There we go, that's in. So that's the left, which is that side. So they're going to come in, and obviously not going to be operational, but I think they're going to go something like that. Right, so guess what the next stage is, guys? Next step. The next step is to flip the little bugger over. We're going to need 2 AP screws, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you know what? I've got 3 more stages to do, and it's genuinely going to look like something. It's actually heading in the right direction. You know, when you do small, sometimes you do big things, and it doesn't. I just had a thought. I didn't put that wheel arch in yet, have I? Oh, right. Bloody grease on my window. I'm really annoyed about that. You can't see that, can you? Right. So I think I'm going to have to switch to big camera, guys. Right. So we're going to put in the. That's going to need a really good clean. Sorry, guys. This is actually my dry brushes, but right. So this this suffered from being in the hallway for a long time, and it picked up all the cooking from the kitchen, and as a result it's got a little bit of a greasy film on the windscreen. Look at that. Can you see that, guys? That's actually doesn't show up on the cameras quite so much, but that is oh yeah, I'm surprised. I'm almost ashamed. Look, see how dirty that is. Yeah, so P40 saying once we put those lights on, they're going to be really easy to snap off. I think they will be. See, at the moment, this bit's quite easy to snap. This bit has snapped off, so now it's pretty safe to roll. This is caught a couple of times. Now we've got something on the top. I don't really know what to do here. So it looks like they're going to be screwed in from the top. What have I done with those lights? No, they're going to be screwed in from underneath. So at what point is it too late to screw those in? Right, let me have a little bit of an advanced look. The train of thought I'm having is, instead of screwing those in, just masking tape where they should go, and maybe write on the masking tape the stage number, and then when we come to attach this body to the chassis, then we'll put the lights in, then we'll attach it to the chassis. I think that might be a better idea. Do you guys agree? There's just too many fiddly bits flipping around. You know, I had this with a fire truck. You know, there's bits coming off where you're pulling it and prodding it and moving it around. I don't know. Right, Anfield, good stream, big thumbs up, no problems. Right, I think that's the train of thought I'm going to go with. I know it's not really building it, but I want to try and keep this protected. Right, so where's my AP screws? I put things down, and no, they're not here. So AP screws, I know I've got some spares. There we go. So let's get these windscreen wipers in. They will definitely go. So let's check the fit. I think I can move this body around. No, I'm going to go with a big camera, guys. I'm on the big camera already. Right, so this is the right. So the right side is this side. Oh, there's two holes in this grill. So, and that's going to want screwing from the underneath, isn't it? Right, I'm going to have to flip it. I'm going to have to. There's going to be absolutely no way. So, should I masking tape that down to keep it in place until we get the screw in? Trouble is, there's no better way to do it, is there? It's bloody awkward doing it this way. Keep flipping it over, but with a model that weighs this much, what is the sensible alternative? I think this is the best way. Right. Where's the other lights just gone? I want to keep those safe. They're up there. Oh, that just slipped down. Right. So, flippy. Oh, And that's where we should be screwing the windscreen wipers in. So right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, P40. Sorry, I can't pull the chat up while I'm screwing. P40 says it will be too late to put the lights on after you've put the body on the chassis. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore those lights. And then once we get to the point where that's come out, once we get to the point we have to attach the body onto the chassis, then we will stop, put the lights on, then put the body on the chassis. That's the way I'm thinking. Because you know they're going to get knocked off. You got a piece of plastic held on with one screw. If that gets knocked, that ain't going to take a lot, is it? And I think that's one of those ones where, you know, even if I was 4 years old, I would have worked that out. You know, it's just so obvious. Right, that's my windscreen wipers on. They're nice. They're all right. I don't know if you can see. You can't see them, guys. I do apologise. Right. Oh, don't like it when that bonnet flips open. I don't know how good it is. This actually hasn't gone on square. You have to kind of push it and manipulate it. Right, I'm going to keep the body on that way because I don't know what's coming. And I do like it upside down. Right, so these lights. So the ones, take the front deck lights you put together in step 1. So that's the longer one, isn't it? The front. Right. Yes. So the front ones are the longer ones. So, piece of masking tape. I'm going to label those with me Jack the Ripper pen, F. Right, and that can go in the Ecto-1 drawer. Because don't forget, I've got to put the steering wheel in as well before I put the body on. Well, actually, I'm going to put the steering wheel on next time we do anything to the chassis. Right, so these are the rear. So a bit of masking tape. And that's got an R on it. R for rear. So next time I open that drawer, I will see 2 lovely blue lights. Right, we are at stage 100 to 116. And Anfield Road is telling us he will be live at 5 p.m. He's going good night. All. Lovely to see you, Lee. I don't know if you're still with us. Right, guys, do you want to do another issue? It's been 2.5 hours, 2 hours 40 minutes. What we got? 116 looks easy. 117 looks easy. 118. Right, let's finish this off. Let's finish this off. So 106. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go. Yeah, we'll finish off this pack, and then that will leave me pack 31, which I will probably do in about 3 or 4 weeks when I come back from London. If I haven't started this new project, I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I will first of all find some ciggy papers because I've just run out. Right, so when I come back on holiday, there is an idea I've got. I want to try something out. There's a new little thing I'm doing with Natasha. But I will set aside one day and we will do the next pack. And I might have the next pack after that as well. So I might do 2 streams next time I'm back, and we'll just do 1 pack. You guys all right with that? Obviously, I'll bring it up on the schedule beforehand. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a... Do you know what? I need to sit down. This is why I need a workbench. This particular build, it's easier if I stand up and do it. It's not really a sit-down build. But if you stand up, you're bending over because the desk is at the height for working with a desk. So this is exactly the reason why I want a workbench. I think I didn't finish what I was saying about the bench actually. So this workbench, let me I want to change one of these videos. I'll tell you what, let's add cam. Just want to check something, guys. I'm going to count to 3. I want to remove the cameras and I'm going to count to 3. I want you to tell me if you can still hear me. 1, 2, 3. Did you hear me when I said 1, 2, 3 there? Because one of these cameras is a virtual camera. Now I can't remember which is which. So... that was the easiest way to work out. Oh, so even if I'm off camera, you can hear me. That's interesting. Sorry, I'm using this melon and I'm just learning new things about it all the time, what you can and can't do. Because you can set up, as you just saw, you can add a virtual camera. So you can actually have 2 different cameras running. But if you have the wrong camera showing, the sound kind of goes through the other camera, unless it's because, maybe it's because I know Dave Back had this issue. When he changed his camera, the virtual camera, no one could hear him. And I wonder if it was because his sound was going through his webcam, whereas my sound is going through a microphone. That might have been it. Right. Let's get stage 116, which looks bigger than it is complicated. So 116 parts, not 116 parts, but right, I'm letting my desk get a little bit messy here. Excuse me. Right, so we've got a little box of small parts and we've got one big black part. So we have got, first of all, the cockpit ceiling panel, which is a big old bit of plastic. Do you want me to change cameras, guys? I'll add that virtual camera again. If I can add 2 virtual cameras, I can. Oh, that's scary, isn't it? Yeah, I can have 3 cameras, guys. Not that I want 3 cameras right now. Right, so this is the cockpit ceiling panel. Sorry, I'm kind of messing around there, aren't I? Right, and we have got, oh, I thought there was a big sun visor in the middle. Because we've already built a sun visor, haven't we? What's that? You can't see it. So what's this? Isn't that a sun visor? Oh, that's the mirrors. Okay, that explains it then. Right, because we've just got a left and a right sun visor. And there they are. And they're labelled L and R. So that's a bit handy, isn't it? Sorry, you know I'm getting tired because I get jokey. Right, so we've got 3 bits here. We've got C and G, left sun visor panel and right sun visor panel, and we've got 2 little bars, sun visor stalk. I thought this was 1 piece, but actually it's 2. And that is rusty. Don't know if you can see that, guys. It's got a little tiny touch of rust on it. Not that, I think that'll be all right. I think that'll be hidden. And the rest is screws. We've got GP screws, which we need 2. RP screws, we need 6. And TP screws, we need 1. So, excuse me 1 second. Get down from there. You're chewing the woods, and then Shadow's watching you. So I think you're both in trouble. Come on. That cat, she climbs up behind the desk and sits there chewing on the wood. But Shadow just sits there watching her. And I don't know what to do with her. If she was a child, I could give her a smack bottom. But you can't do that with cats because they don't get it. Right, so take the sun visor 116F and secure it with the... Right, so it's the right sun visor panel. So it's this one. And then we want to secure it with the right sun visor panel, and that's got letters on it as well. So that's going in. There's a little bit of a shape to it, so I suspect if we got it wrong. Oh, what's that? Oh, I didn't notice these. I got some nubbly bits. So let me check. I didn't spot those on the parts list. Sorry, guys. Right, so 116D sun visor stalk retainer, and then we've got this bit here, 116H sun visor retainer. So we'll see how that goes. So we need to first of all attach this with 3 RP screws, then push one end of each of the sun visor stalks into the hole in the side. I've got a feeling we don't want to screw these in really tight. I think we've got to put them in almost. We'll see how it goes. So obviously if we tighten that up really tight, it might give us a little bit less wiggle for that, but I will do it fully actually, and then if it's not going to go in, we'll just loosen the screws. This is fiddlier than it looks because it's tiny screws. To give you an idea of how big they are RP 1.2 across by 3 millimeters long. This has got some weight to it, for what it is. If you pick this up, I tell you, it feels like those fridge magnets, weight-wise. It's a lot heavier than you would. You'd look at that and you think, there'd be no weight to it, but but it's a lot heavier than it looks. Right, so one of these stalks is going to go into there, and that's gone in surprisingly well. I thought if we'd screwed these screws down, it might tighten that up. Right, so we need to put one of these nubby ends on, and the position of it is in the cutout bit there. So I'm going to push that as far as I can down. Do you know what? That's, oh God. Oh, something interesting for you guys. I just, right. So one of the springs has come off my bonnet. It's okay because it's gone in, but now I've got to remember how to do the bonnet. Right, sorry about that, guys. Right, so that's got a little bit of flash on the end, and that is going to annoy the crap out of me. So let's just get some sprue cutters. Just cut that down flat. That's actually plastic. For some reason, I had it in my mind that that was rubber. Right, so that's going to go on there. And I don't know how. So I want to find something hard, and I want to push that against it. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's not going to stay on there. So I want something. Here you go. My knife. Just get something that'll push against it. And I'll push that in as far as I can. Yeah, that's going to come off there. So I'm going to pop some super glue onto that. So I'm going to push that all the way out because you'll see that there's a gap there. And obviously that's going to go like that because we're going to need that end. So if you push that all the way up, but that's just so easy to remove. So what I'm going to do, open the glues. I'm going to get some of my super glue gel. Take that nub off the end. Just going to put a tiny dab. Ooh, that's too much. Just on the very end. And now I've put the thing there is. Right. And even if I've got this on the wrong way round, that's fine because that'll come out. That'll pull that through. But that is, I think that is the right way. So I'm going to stop there for a minute. Just let that glue dry. So I'm going to work on the other side. So exactly the same as before. Bits of the sun visor together. I don't know why I've tipped them out. They're not even screws. So get me RPs ready. 3 of them, not 5. Right. So sun visor, left sun visor. I can see that's upside down. Into there like that. Actually, what I should be doing, instead of doing that, I should be making up the next bit, shouldn't I? So that's got a little tiny bit of flash on it. So a little bit of super glue on the end, not much, just a tiny drop. And then we'll put that on the end. And then I can make that up. There you go, look, that's stuck on there now. Just need to give it a bit of time, but we don't want it to stick to that because it'll stop it from moving, I suspect. Right, so let's finish making this sun visor up. I know I'm kind of skipping the instructions a bit, but that end is just going to come off. I don't think you need a degree in engineering to work that one out. Why are these screws not going in? There we go. I did see that comment earlier. Can't I just put that piece that's got a bit of rust on it was in a tub with some coke? I don't really think it matters. Because as you can see, that's going to be hidden. And I think even if it wasn't hidden, I don't think it's really going to show that much. It's only because I just happen to be wearing my glasses that I happen to notice it. Now this one, I've had trouble with the last two screws. There we go. I think again that's suffering from not quite 100% fitting perfectly, but once you get the screw in, it pulls it into place. Right, so this is going to go in on the cutout bit again. It should have come in from the other side, but right, so back to the right one. So what we're going to do now is, with the holes there, that's going to go, that, right, can't quite work this out. So that's going to go, right, attach the left sun visor panel. Don't know which is which now. Right, the knobbly bit goes to the outside. Right, attach the left sun visor panel to the left sun visor. Slot the, it says slot, but there's no slot there. Unless it means, yeah, got to put that in there. So this is one of those sun visors that's only attached. That's not going to remain. That's not going to stay in there. Absolutely no chance. Look. That's going to come out of there. That can't be right. Take the sun visor, place it on top of the screw post in the middle of the cockpit ceiling panel. Well, I'll do it, but I don't think there's enough on there. Maybe I shouldn't have stuck that on so much. Maybe I should have given it more post. I don't know. That ain't gonna. There's no way that's gonna stay on there, is it? What do you reckon? So that's gonna go in with a TP screw. I'll give it a try, and if it stays there, then hooray! But unless I've got that the wrong way round, but I haven't. But I can see there's some screw holes there. So, I don't know. I ain't convinced by this. You can't just plug something in one hole, can you, and expect it to remain there. Right. Let's put that in. Just a little bit. Then that's going in there. See, that ain't going to stay in there, is it? Or is it? Right. Let's put that in all the way. Then we'll back it off. See, that ain't going to stay in there. What the hell is that about? Who come up with this idea then? Unless I needed more post. And now I've screwed them on. Yeah, I think I do need to see what F40, but then F40 is not done this stage. So see, theoretically it'll grip, but look, you know what? But it's going to be really super hard to get them both in there. Because if I screw this screw down without putting the other side in, that's sort of in. Yeah, that ain't staying there, is it? That is, I'm sorry, but that is a crap design, unless I shouldn't have pushed that on so much. But then they should have told us not to push it on fully. So, is there a lug that goes in the other pin? No, there isn't, look. So this bit there, let me show you this. I'd like to say I've got it wrong, because then I can do it right and everything will work. But so that's where we push. It's supposed to be something in there, right? So that's got to rest on there like that with really bad camera focus. Come on, can I have a focus? Right, and then that's clamped in place with this. But there's hardly any hole. Teresa Reed PM. Are you sending me a message? Because I might be on. Oh, right. Gone crazy, be back soon. Oh, that's you sending me a message, was it? I don't know. I really don't know. This is the only other thing I can think of is, where's the pin gone for that one? Right. So either I have glued that on, I should have glued it on right at the end, and I don't know how to get that off now. Come on. Right. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is glue it in and then not touch it. Screw this bit on. Right, Dominique, I'm leaving. Penny, I'm leaving until the next stream. Yeah, you take care, my friend. Thanks for staying up so late, because I know it's gone midnight where you are. Right. So that's going in that way. It is now anyway. Right, loosen that a bit and we can get that in there. But you see, as soon as I loosen that, to get the other side in, that's going to fall off. So I think my options are glue that in. Look, see, it's just fell out. So I think if I loosen that, see, that don't even want to go in. Where's the other peg gone? Sorry, I've got a runny nose now for some reason. Right, there you go. That'll go in. I mean, I get how this goes because that's realistic, isn't it? Sometimes you get these sun visors, they're only connected at one end. But to connect it like that, if they'd have done one long wire, that would have worked better, wouldn't it? Do you know what? I might redo this. But then I can't get that screw in. So that ain't going to work. Oh. But that'll go in there. And then I can tighten it. But that ain't going to stay there. And then... So I'm stumped, guys. Is that a really crap piece and it doesn't fit? Or have I done it wrong? I must have done something wrong, haven't I? Right, let's give this a try. I've took the sun visor off. And then that way I've got correct. You see the principle of it, can't you? And that's a little bit better because I've got more rod in there. But that ain't going to take much for that to fall out, is it? So oh, that's the wrong one. Penny, turn the page, look at the next bit. There is no next bit. The next bit is the next stage. But it's, see, I'm also wary that there's a screw hole there. So even if we do get that on, we then need to turn it to get to those screw holes. That's going to come out. And if that wasn't screwed in, see, what I'd be tempted to do is soak that in acetone to get that off, glue that on, then get a little hole, little drill, and drill a hole through there. And then we'll get a little bit of metal rod and we'll make one long bit of rod and put it through. I think that's going to be a better idea because there's no way that's going to hold, is it? What do you reckon to that? I think P40's gone to bed. There could be a lug coming up that holds the other side in place. There might be, but why is the lug not here? Well, we're doing cockpit ceiling and sun visors. I don't think that's right. I think what I should have done, first of all, oh God, where'd that just go? I'm just constantly losing bits today, dropping bits. Anyway, it's somewhere. It's either inside the Ecto-1 or it's on the table. Right, so first of all, I shouldn't have glued that in as far as it'll go. And now that's got stuck. Where's my pliers? You know, the greatest thing that P40 ever told me was about shear strength. When something's glued with super glue, don't pull it, twist it. Best thing he taught me. So yeah, I'm not gonna finish that today. This piece, I'm gonna rework that with a bit. I'm gonna need to drill a hole through there, and I'm gonna put one single piece of metal through. But I can't drill the hole because I got the screw there. So I'm going to have to glue that top bit in. So I can still get on with more, because the next bit is doing more work on this, but I'm not going to be able to get past, I'm not going to be able to do any more than the next issue. So I'm going to be one issue short of doing this. Right, let me see if I can find that pin I just dropped. I don't know if I dropped inside the Ecto-1. There it is. I knew it went somewhere. Right. So I'm going to have to rework that. I'll have to get some metal rod. I'll glue that in. I'll get a little pin vise. I'll drill a hole. And then I'll just insert the rod through. Right, so the next stage is 117. The Midland 77859 CB radio. I'm going to stop for a quick nose blow. Don't know what's going on with my nose today. I haven't got a cold or anything. Right, sorry about that. Right, so stage 117, and this is going to be the last stage for the night, I'm afraid. Well, it's nice to start off with a clean desk today. Oh, looks like I got some wires, some cotton. Come on, I don't like these, because if you pull and it kind of catches and then goes, they're all going to fly everywhere. Right. Well, I got me sprue cutters out. Good job I have, because I'm going to need them in this issue. Right, so stage 117. Can't find them. Can you see why I do instructions off screen, guys? Right, so we have got the CB radio frame. That is, no, that's metal. Normally they only give us metal bits if it needs a bit of strength. Parts B and C is the Midland radio top and bottom. So there you go, that's all right, isn't it? Don't know why they've not given us a box, but there you go. 17D is button A. Now this is where it's getting, there we go. Button A. Then 117E is button B, but it looks like there's 3 of them. And then we've got F and G is the microphone filter and body. And then we've got wire, which feels suspicious. Oh, it is actually wire. So here's the strange one. We need 4 in total. We've got one with no number, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got button A and button B. So we'll see what that, right. So button A looks like it wants to be bigger. There we go, that's button A there. And then we've got 4 button 2s. Right, that's not a problem. Right, so obviously we have a load of screws. We're going to need 6 of them for this next step, which I've now got. So what we are doing next is we are taking our roof piece, which would ordinarily have some sun visors in, but it doesn't, because they're going to get done later. So this wants to go, so you see you've got 3 sets of screw holes. You want that little clip there to be in the top, and that's going to go like that. So, screw number 1. We'll pick on one of the corners, shall we? And I can see that what's going to happen is that these screws are going to contour that to the roof. It is a flat piece of metal at this point. So what I'm going to do, normally I'd go next corner, opposite corner, but because I can see there's a little gap there where the roof is shaped but the metal is flat. So I'll do the middle next, but I will go opposite. I can't get the screw on the screwdriver. That's got in nice. There we go. That's gone in nice. Very, very nice. Back to liking it now. You need 116D. Right, well, 116D. How did you know that? Right, 116D are these little bits on the end. Right, it's this end that you're securing in the middle. And do you know what? I think that end was meant to be there, that I trimmed off. I think I buggered up 116, you know. So here's my question. Do I ring them up and go, oh, I've had a problem with the issue, there's been a mistake, can I have a replacement part? Or do I phone up and say, I've cocked up one issue, can I buy a replacement? Right, anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. I think I can fix it. I just need to buy a piece of wire. In fact, I might even be able to make it out of a paper clip. Depends on the thickness of the wire. Right, there you go. That's the third screw in. So we can now start filling those gaps in. So are you suggesting that this end screws in, but then it won't fit unless that goes in? But then what goes on this end? It's a sound theory. No, because it ain't going to fit. It's got to go in that way. Well, that way. So this little bit poking through there is gripped in there with that screw. But look how much there is to grip with. That's basically how it's got to go in. Hey, it's not going to happen. I'll rework it. It'll be fine. Trust me. Right, let's get these screws finished. I mean, in all fairness, I can't remember any badly designed issues on this. The only thing is, and as I say, I can't think of a better way, but where you're having to flip it upside down a lot, that's a bit awkward. But we're up to 116 and we've got one badly designed issue. I ain't moaning about that. Right, so that's that in. So next we want our two halves of the CB radio, and this is a push fit connection by the looks of it. So we've got a little clip there so we can see which way round they go. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I don't think it does actually. Saying that, that's just gone in. Right, so now we want to take our buttons. Now, if you feel confident enough, you can cut those off. But I would hold that button down and then cut it so that it's the sprue that flies off. Because obviously if you don't hold that, it's going to fly off. But I prefer a method that I've come up with. Let's see how good this is at push fitting. Oh, think I might need tweezers for this. This is the only button like this. So if I lose this, that's actually quite satisfactory. Right, so the way I like to cut tiny pieces off a sprue, right, because look, if you cut that there, that's going to fly off. I've done this before on a stream, but what I do is I cover those with masking tape, like so, making sure you don't cover the very bottom, the part that you're going to cut. Which that one has. Now, when you cut those pieces, even when you cut the last one, Carpet Monster's not going to get that one, is it? And then when you want the part, just pull it out from the masking tape, because masking tape isn't that strong. And you watch, I'm going to drop one of these, aren't I? I think that's a foregone conclusion. Right, that's gone in nice. Very, very nice. Second one. Ding. Ding. Someone's messaging you on Facebook. Or I've got an email. Actually, it's gone. No, it's not on midnight yet. It's my payday today. That's why I don't like working at Kilmarnock. I'm actually, my wages this week aren't covering my bills. Mind you, I've had a bit of a deduction on my wages. So, oh, can she recover that from the drop? Oh, no, she can't. I'm trying not to use tweezers. I think I can get away with not using tweezers, but I've got some really nice opposite. I don't know what they're called. I call them reverse. Oh, that landed on my finger. I've got some reverse tweezers. It'd probably be perfect. Right. Good job they've given us. Oh no, it has. It's actually hair. Right. I mean, I've got a spare one, but that really doesn't want to go. There you go. That's gone in. There you go. So what's that third button for? Because that's obviously the on-off and the volume, right? That's going to be, one of those is going to be squelch and one is going to be treble. What's the third one for? Oh, channel selector. Oh, on-off with the volume and the channel selector. Right, someone has sent me a... So let me have a look at this. Don't know what you're showing me. Oh, right. Okay. Right. I will watch that later. Promise. But no, it's, if I have to do what I was going to do, that's fine anyway. Right. So that's stage 2 done. Stage 3, step 3, stage whatever it's called. We need to, oh, this is interesting. Right, so we need to push the microphone filter in, and we've got two size holes there. I actually noticed the lugs of the pins. Right. So I think, right, I'm not going to put that in just yet. Let me explain why. So we have got, in fact, I don't want to put this in either. I want to take this out now. I wish I'd seen this coming. Give me a sec, guys. I need a tiny, tiny, thin, flathead screwdriver head, of which I don't have one, but of course I do, because I got my fancy spancy. There we go. Right. Right, perfect. Right, so what we need to do with this wire, we need to make like a telephone cable with it. What they've told us to do is to get a screwdriver, which I'm going to use this one. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap it right round like that. Then we can push that down to give us more room, and then we can wind more. Push that down to give us more space. Then we wrap that even more. Right, so one end needs to go into here. The reason I've not put those together is I want to loop off one end, put it round the little peg, and then put it together. This end is going into there, so that's going to be tougher to do. So I think what I'm going to do to get that in there, I'm going to, will that go through doubled up? No, that's good. Right, so push, let's get more coil on that, shall we? Can always uncoil it if we need more, but right. So I'm going to push a little bit into there. Then with my pliers, I'm going to double that up, bend it. Basically what I'm doing is I'm twisting it round as much as I can. Do. My phone's just told me I've got a day off. There we go. So that's going nowhere, is it? Yep. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a little loop. I'm going to hold it there. And then I'm going to twist that around a few times. Yeah, you can see where I'm going on this. So when we come to do the microphone, I can loop that on the top. Oh, just dropped the end. Right, remember there's a big peg and a little peg. Right. Look at that. That ain't coming off, is it? Oh, I've got... And that ain't falling out. Yeah. Just gone into chuffed mode now. I have just made a CB radio microphone thing that is not going anywhere. Now that wants to go there. That's got a little hole. Is that a little hole? Yeah. Oh, it's got a little. There you go. I mean, that probably ain't going to go anywhere anyway. Now, if you ain't happy with that straight bit, which I think that's quite realistic, actually. If you look at telephone cable, it's not curly all the way to the end. But that's, yeah, that's good. I'm liking that. So now that wants to go point away from the sun visor. Ah, now I've seen what that hole is for. Can you believe I put that hole? Yeah, I put that in the wrong place. Look, it should have gone through there. Never mind. Never mind. Don't know what. No, I'm not going to bother changing it. I know it isn't right, but that'll be all right. It's the principle, isn't it? Right, so that's going to go in with 2 KP screws. If I can find the KP screws, here they are, silver. Oh yeah, because it's going on to a silver piece. So that makes some sense. Right, 2 screws. I've done it again. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hour stream, probably about 5 hours by the time I finished. You know what I'm like. Even P40's got fed up, look. Right. So if that other screw doesn't go in because I've got the wire in the way, I will adjust it. But if it works, I'm just going to call it my build is unique. I think that'll be fine. Why is my nose running? Yeah, that's going in. It's a bit tough because of the wire, but that's going in. Or is it? Yeah, that's in. Lovely. Finish that off on that side. And there we go. Breaker, 10-4, 40, whatever it is. Right, now that wants to now go into there, but now it wants to go in there. And now I see what the holes are for, but I'm not going to put that in because I've still got that sun visor to figure out. So, right guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it for issue 118. Yeah, so let's hide that. Let's cut that. Change the video. Oh, my back. No, that wasn't the video which camera I wanted to change to. That one. There we go. Right. Oh, what do you think, guys? So I'll watch that video that you sent me. Most definitely. I'll see how he's coped with it. Maybe there's something glaringly obvious. So you see a big hole just next to that. There's a screw hole. I can't see it. I cannot see it. No, there is no screw hole. Unless I got a faulty part. No, there definitely isn't a screw hole in there. Anyway, look, listen, I had fun tonight. I got some done. I'm not going to be doing any more for a good few weeks because of London. So I've got plenty of time to research it. Obviously, I've got those lights to put on which I don't want to put on until the body's connected to the chassis. And I didn't want to put I could do this. I might do the steering wheel off camera. I really hate off camera, but the body's there and the steering wheels are there. And all it is just put the two bits together, screw it in, and it's done. So there's not really much to do on that one. So yeah, so next time I come back, I will have another issue. As I say, I've got issue 32. Did I have 32? If I did, I lost it. There it is. So what we've got left to do, I mean, some people are finished. How many issues are there? Does anyone know? So this one, issue 31, CB radio done, interior ceiling lights, and that's the end of that issue. And then I must have loads to go. 140. Right, so I ain't that far off then. So they must be giving us a lot to do in the last 20 issues then, because I've got partition wall speaker, which don't look like we're doing much. Then finishing the partition wall. Then we've got the wing mirrors, brackets and tubing. Oh, so the tubes are going to come up the side. So we'll start building on the top. Then, that's when we're going to be attaching the body to the chassis. Why have we attaching wheels? Figure G, we're attaching wheels. Oh, we've got to take the bloody wheels off and put the wheels back on. So combining up the lower sections, then the wing mirrors are going on, and then basically there's a shed load of wires on the roof. Then we've got the kick plate. That's a short issue. Kick plates. So if they start giving us short issues, we ain't going to get a lot done. There's 4 kick plates. We've still got the gurney to do, haven't we? To put the proton packs on. So I don't know. But it's obviously near in the end, isn't it? So right, so guys, how are we watching? 7 still watching. Well done, guys. I can't believe you put through this. Now, guys, I want to run an idea past you. I was talking to Chris about it the other day, and we kind of both brought it up. Coffee still warm. 3.5 hours still warm. I love these vacuum cups. Right, so many of you guys stream. What we used to do ages and ages ago, and we just don't seem to do it now, we used to have a Google spreadsheet, and everyone used to have access to the sheet. And when you're planning on doing a stream, you used to go onto the sheet and you used to put your stream details in. So if you stream on a Tuesday, you put Fred Blogs streaming on a Tuesday. And then what we all do in exchange, when we do a stream, when we come to the end of the stream, we'd go through the spreadsheet. We'd announce everybody's upcoming shows for the next 7 days. Would you like me to sort that out so that we can all take part in that? In exchange for putting your stream on the spreadsheet, all I ask in return is that at the end of your show, you go through the spreadsheet and you call everyone's shows out for the next 7 days. And obviously, your show will be called out for the next 7 days. Obviously, if you're the sort of person who sets a stream up like a day or 2 in advance, it's not going to be so beneficial for you. But I think it's a good little way of sharing the love. So, and it doesn't matter if you've got people whose streams are clashing. You know, if you stream at 7:30 and I stream at 8 o'clock. That's fine. But then you always know if I stream later, I'm going to pop in your show anyway. So yeah, that's something I might do. So let me just check that I've got everything tied up. Oh, thank you for the 11 likes, guys. Penny, arise. I can give check World of Wayne's videos on this, as it might help you with the confusion. Oh, no, it's fine. Obviously, the place to go is someone like World of Wayne anyway, because World of Wayne does every single build going. But I've been sent the link to John's Model Making, which is a channel I watch a lot anyway. The only thing is, because when I do my builds, I like that to be the first time I've ever seen it. So I don't tend to watch his videos until after I've made mine. So that's why I've not seen it. It's not that I'm not going to. It's just that I haven't built it myself yet, so I'm not watching it yet. Right, guys, that is it. That's all I can think of. Tomorrow is my Mad Pack day. So I am fairly undisturbable tomorrow because I've got to pack 2 bags for London, one for my work clothes, one for my personal stuff. I've got models and stuff to take with me. And then when I come back in 3 weeks, I've got stuff to bring back. I've still got to clean my airbrush out. I brought my airbrush back from London to give it a really good clean. Guys, I can recommend this stuff to you, except I can't recommend it. Right, normally I clean my airbrush out with my homemade airbrush cleaner, then my thinners, then water. And it usually does a pretty good job, but I've had a few issues with my airbrush, especially the one with a 0.3 needle. I was recommended this ages ago anyway, and I have been using it. Now, this is nasty stuff. This is Mr. Tool Cleaner. I don't know what the number means, but what I now do is I put a cup, when I do my airbrush, I blow out all of the paint. I put water in to dilute it and then blow that through. Then I do the my airbrush cleaner, which is what I do normally. Then I do about a cup or half a cup of this, blow that through, then do the airbrush cleaner, and I have had no issues whatsoever. It's just those little sometimes you get little tiny chunks. And I'm not taking that to London with me. It's quite expensive. I don't want to buy 2 bottles of it. But yeah, definitely recommend that if you use airbrushes. Did you see my video on the airbrush grip? If you use an airbrush, I'd recommend that. My airbrush doesn't have it on at the moment because I do take it off for cleaning. The one negative thing about it, it does slightly restrict the trigger coming back a bit. So when you're cleaning it and you want to blow through quickly, it kind of gets in the way. And I use this spray pot, and it stops me from getting it in there properly. So instead of spraying it into the pot, it actually sprays in the nozzle and it all comes out again. And as a result, you can tell I've been using Mr. Tool Cleaner because it's actually worn the seal around it. Now that's actually paint. That is actually paint. It's stripped all the paint that's all around the edges. It's stripped that off. That's how good. There's parts of I'll show you how good Mr. Tool Cleaner is. I spilt some on my cutting mat and I wiped it up within seconds of spilling it, and that's the result. It's took the lines. I took the top layer of the cutting mat off, and it's took the lines. That's how good it is. And wear rubber gloves, because one thing I do a lot as well is I put my finger over the end and pull the trigger, and it sends all the paint, all the liquid back up and mixes it. But you do get a little tiny bit on your finger, so watch that. Right, guys, so that's me finished. I believe Chris is streaming tomorrow at 7:30. Did Anfield? I'm looking to get an A2 mat. Yeah, definitely. I love my cutting mats. But what I'm going to be doing once I build a new desk, I'm looking into getting. I either want hard foam or soft rubber, and I'm going to line the mat with the foam or the rubber, only like a couple of mil thick, and then there's going to be a piece of purple felt go over the top, and that's going to be my part work, and that will replace my towel. You noticed I have a towel down because P40 F20 does like to tell me off for not having a towel down on the thing, and he's right. That is a soft cutting mat, but it could be enough just to scratch, especially if there's something on it, and then you put your model on and you scratch it. So yeah, that's one of the mats that I'm working on, and then there might be I might try and get a little screwdriver holder or something put into it. Just basically customize my whole desk, and so it's 10 times better than it is now. So am I doing much in a bit? It depends what you mean by a bit. If you mean a bit, no, I'm not doing anything. If you mean, can I spend the next 4 hours doing a logo for you, then yeah, I am doing something, because I'm not that long off going to bed. Right, guys, so my next stream, I haven't set it up yet, is going to be I think it's next. Let me pull my, because I've now actually got my 3rd week's rotor in. I think it's great. I know what I'm doing for 3 weeks before I even get to London. And when I'm in Kilmarnock, I don't know what I'm doing past Sunday until the Friday. Right, so I will set the streams up on YouTube. Oh, we're in. Why am I down as a vest? Oh yeah, I see. Right, November. Right. So I am off the Saturday the 4th, so I'll be doing a stream on Thursday the 3rd. Then I'll have to do the one on the Sunday, because I'm on an early on the Tuesday, so I can't stream Monday night. So I'll be streaming Friday the 3rd, Sunday the 5th. Then I'm on an early on the 15th, so I'm going to be streaming up 2 days off together, and that's my nice one. See what they've done. I'm on a 50-hour minimum contract now, because I'm down there for 3 weeks to give me 15 shifts. Well, what they've done is they've given me 6 days in the first week, then they've given me 6 days in the second week, and they've given me 3 days on the last week. Now, if I do 2 days overtime, I won't get paid for them, because I'm getting 50 hours anyway. So they've given me 2 days off, so I'm going to keep those 2 days off. So I am going to be doing 1, maybe 2 streams. I'll definitely be streaming the 13th of November, and I might stream the 12th. So, and then I might be coming home early. So that'll be good. I'll see how that one goes. So yeah, I'll get those streams set up. So Aberdeen lost tonight 3-2. That's a shame. Never mind. Right. Our game, I'll be honest with you, is no, not tonight. I do want to go on the PlayStation. I haven't been on for months. But yeah, I know I say this every night, but yeah, not tonight. Right, guys. That's it. So thank you for watching, guys. 9. I've got more watching me now than I did at the start. This is amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Actually, I'll tell you about this. I have been watching my analytics, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with regards to going, the earning thing. And I've been watching it, and I'm over halfway on the subscribers. In fact, I've got enough subscribers to do the memberships and the supers. And is it the supers where you can pay to do like a chat or something? But obviously I want to do the 1,000 subs, and but I wasn't sure how I feel about the adverts. But apparently you get paid for you can buy a membership on YouTube, and it's you don't get the adverts. And apparently you still get paid. Like, you also earn revenue when a YouTube premium subscriber watches your content on the watch page. So I think I will put the advertising on, because I find the adverts annoying. And I've noticed that lately, I don't know if it's YouTube or the actual YouTuber, but you sit there and you might get like 2 30-second adverts. And sometimes I'm watching videos, you get 2 adverts right at the start, and then 5 minutes into the video, you get another advert, and you end up getting to the point where you turn the video off. It's a really good video, but you turn it off because you can't be asked for the adverts. But my plan, guys, I've got my rest of my life sorted out. What I want to do, I'm not being greedy. I'm working hard. I'm saving up the deposit on a house. I've worked out that if I can get a deposit on a house and I can get a 40 grand mortgage, get that over 10 years, and I'll be paying the same amount as I'm paying rent now anyway. I'll have that paid off before I retire. And then once I retire and I get my private pension and my state pension, I'm gonna give up service buses. I'm gonna do school buses. Now, obviously, my money's going to go down because I'm earning less money, and the pension's not going to replace it all. But hopefully, by then, I can get me 1,000 subs on YouTube. If I ain't got 1,000 subs in 10 years, I'm doing something wrong. And then hopefully, I'd just like to earn 50 to 100 quid a month on YouTube. I don't know if they earn that much, but 50 to 100 quid a month on YouTube. And then I can use that for models and things, can't I? So effectively, my YouTubing will be free. And no mortgage to pay because that's paid off. My pension's covering my bills. My school bus money is covering a few little extras. And then YouTube's paying for its own content. That's all I'm after, guys. So, yeah, I'm after that content. So, guys, I'm going to ask you a favour. Next time you watch one of my videos, I know not everybody watches the whole length of the video, and I don't have a problem with that. Can I ask you just to watch an extra 30 seconds? If you feel like, I want to watch something else, just give me an extra 30 seconds. And that will really, really help my channel. Obviously, along with the likes and things, and that gets it promoted. Because I think my channel's starting to roll now, and I think some of the content, I think people are into. And I'm begging now, I know, but yeah. Right, so guys, I'll leave it there. So if I don't catch you before, I've got some videos coming out, as you well know. I've got to upload the locomotive. Mosquitoes getting really excited. Do you know what? People are switched off. I'll give you a quick sneak peek. So at the end of the next video, my mosquito looks like that. How good is that? And that's the underside. So I actually did it wrong because I thought the camouflage went about halfway up, but it actually went all the way up. But yeah, I masked that, and I am well chuffed. It's very, very shiny because I put gloss varnish on, ready to do decals. But decals are going on tomorrow, and I'm filming that. Crafty Chris, how are you, my lovely? Are you well? You have to drop us a message on Facebook. If God, I've forgotten his name. Dave, if Dave's watching, I want to give you a call at some point, but I want to pick the right time. Obviously, you have life going on, and I'm just ringing you up for advice. So my needs are quite low priority at the moment, but give us a call sometime when you got sort of 20 minutes. I want to discuss my bus with you and where I want to take it and what I want to do. It's going to be very expensive. I'm going to be working on 2 projects, but I'm doing a feasibility study into doing the Harry Potter night bus. Right, guys, I am going to go because it's been nearly 4 hours. So thank you for watching, everybody. Very mixed bag for tonight. Everything's been going all right apart from a couple of issues. The Ecto's coming along. I'm going to watch that video from John's model making, but I wonder if I can't see how it can go any other way. But we'll see what happens. And if I can't work it out, I'm going to glue that bit on. I'm going to drill a hole through the middle, and I'm going to cut a new bit of rod, and I'm going to put it through that way. And then that ain't going anywhere, is it? Right, that's it then, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in another stream. Thank you very much for watching.